All right. What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to What is up, beautiful people? And welcome to the Frosted Fist. I am your wolf brother, Mythos
And
Kushranada.
I am Freak. Guys, welcome to the show. So
Now,
excited tonight.
we're really excited for tonight, and it's a little bit unorthodox, but you guys know things have been like super busy lately, and Freakalicious and I honestly have not got in a lot of hobby time lately. And plus, Freak's been working long hours this week. I work random hours, but you guys know I've been working more than I've been able to get in some hobby time lately. So we were like, why not just have a hobby hangout and actually just sit, chat, hang out with you beautiful people, and really get in some hobby tonight. We're making some time to get some stuff painted. So that's the
Get to
plan
hang out
tonight.
with the buds, the
Yep.
brochachos.
Absolutely. So really stoked to see you guys tonight. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and throw out the reminder that the Frost and Fists are part of both the Edict Beer Wargamers Unification Group and the Chilling Network. And we are
Yes,
so proud to be working with such legends.
they are.
Is this just my screen and my internet, or do we look? Oh, nope. Refresh. Everything looks good now. I was about to say everything looks blurry. It was just me. Lupus Canis says, Eveningtons. Who took my dice said, have fun tonight. I will be watching on and off.
Am I
Very
really
nice.
quiet? Am I really low?
You are now. For sure.
Really? Am I too low?
You are very soft over there.
Very soft. And then
Now you're fine.
I'm loud. Okay, it's the wrong. Okay, I see what it is. Dadgummit. Hold on. I fix.
All right. Gamecraft Dragon says, what's up? The Commodore says the Phalanx has entered high orbit. The Super Weather Pig says, g'day. I haven't even started drinking. I love you, man. I'm sure that's for the Weather Pig, but you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I love y'all too. Just everyone here in the chat. Everyone that can hear my voice. Say what? No, it definitely sounds better now. I have Corona. You have Corona. I hope you're talking about the beer. There we go. Guava lime. There we go. Weather Pig is working on some 40K for a change and discussing further 40K plan with Zane. Working with Zane. How about that? Very cool. Corona is the only beer I can drink. Oh, you know what? That reminds me. After last week's show, I told Zane I would send him a heads up when we go live. So I will do that verily. All right, you say something while I send Zane a message. Again? Tiff said that Lily said that someone was saying they couldn't hear you. So still? Is that from before? Is that nope? No. Oh, now no audio from you. None whatsoever. Leave it to Mythos to tell a muted guy. You take over the chat while I send a text. Guys, you guys know it wouldn't be a Frosted Fist Friday night if we didn't have tech issues every single. See, and that's the thing. I feel like I've heard many times that to be a successful YouTuber, you need consistency. And the Frosted Fist will consistently deliver you tech issues every single week at the same time of week. We can do that. We are professionals at that. All right, catching on the chat while Freak Fish fixes his audio. Big Mac Danskull says, Wog? Wog? Speaking of a Wog, Gamecraft Dragon is painting 5 Ludas as we speak. You guys better hide the good silverware. There's some looting up in here. Lady Dragon Creation says, I see much spicy in here tonight. Spicy. You guys remember the old 90s Slim Jim commercials? Spicy, spicy. Oh, yeah. Richard Smith says, evening, lads. You spicy legends. Definitely won't be able to stay awake, but thought I'd drop in and say hi for the kickoff. Richard Smith, it's always amazing to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for dropping by. And when you do head off, I hope you have an amazing rest and wake up beautifully refreshed on the morrow. Gamecraft Dragon says, painted 35 orcs in April. I am super happy with my brand new, how my brand new WOG is coming along. Man, it's times like these where I really love you, my brother, like right here, but I also hate you, you know. That jealousy grips deep. I suppose that, though, if I'm going to be starting orcs soon, that it's fitting that I turn green with envy. But not all orcs have to be green. We've got the pale orc in the house. Says, hey, all. What up, my brother? You jump out and jump back on, baby. Oh, Dazrock says, look at the fuzz. Yeah, growing in a little isolation beard. Hopefully I get to keep it when I go back to work. Right on. Little peek behind the curtains, everyone. Let us know if you can hear Freak. That's not cool. That's a negative. So I'm going to go back to the comments, checking with you guys while Freakalicious is working on that. You guys are getting to see some of the OBS stuff behind the curtain there, all broken up like a jigsaw puzzle. Let's see. Oh, talking about not getting some hobby time. Who Took My Dice says hobby time is at a premium. You right. Freakaliciousness Lady Dragon says, I was promised a bow tie. He forgot. Heinrich Martha, my brother. Heidi ho, neighbor. Light of the Phoenix. Good to see you, Phoenix. Welcome tonight, fam. Where the hell's your bow tie, Freak? See, this is why he muted himself, is because he didn't want to have to explain to everyone why there's no bow tie. So we've got a test going on. You guys hear the Freakalicious now? Lady Dragon says she's finishing up her lava bases for her remaining Stormcast. Very nice. And currently in a retirement, I guess, a couple year-long break. We have my favorite Let's Player in the house, the Dark Light Dreamer. Hellwork says he hears static but no Freak. Yeah, I can hear you. For some reason, the OBS is not pulling your data. We're getting the spinny spin of death.
Gotcha. Hang on here. Sorry about that. Forgot to hit the start again.
I do need to. We need to refresh prayers and incense to the Omnissiah.
Lying, man.
Oh, Gamecraft Dragon says sound.
Well, yeah, I've got a different mic on.
Okay.
I don't know if that's gonna work because it's so far. See if I can actually. It was on. Oh, now it's on. I see it. Dude, I don't know what's going on, bro. All right, let me try this one more time.
Yeah, he's on a different mic right now.
Test. Vault.
X-Gear Commander, happy freaking Friday to you too. Gamecraft Dragon says, can you just stretch the cord for your mic? Lupus Canna says he's still painting his Prussian Napoleonic army. Still. Very cool, although I do know the feeling that I'm reading there where it feels like you've been slogging away at the same army or unit or whatever for too long. I definitely know that feeling. We can hear him. It's all good. Just need to make it reach so we can talk about how awesome he is to his face. Not that we mind the view of his peach. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, guys. So, just to give you, I guess, a little hobby update of what I've been doing. Over the past week, I actually got in a little more hobby this week than before. Last weekend, was it last weekend? Yeah, I think it was Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday that I finished these off, so I do have that to show off. I have finished my first 5 of the Assault Marines. So, hold my camera. Here's my sergeant. That's not bad. A little glowy glow on the plasma there. And the color balance isn't picking it up great, but actually I've added some tonality to all this white here with a lot of weathering powders and pigments. There's 2 layers of weathering powder on each of these Assault Marines, so it's a lot heavier than I normally do my weathering, but that's because I imagined it was really just a chance to play with it, because I imagined that, you know, these jump packs would kick up a lot of this desert sand and dust. So, you know, it gave it a little opportunity for me to experiment with the pigment some. So this is this guy. This Night Lord's Chainglaive here is kind of my custom eviscerator for my Assault Marines. I wanted to go with something like that, you know, to kind of represent the way the White Scars use the Guandao in their lore, in their novel and stuff like that. So, again, it reads a lot redder and dustier in real life, but the camera doesn't pick up the weathering super well. But it keeps them from all looking all solid white, which I like. And like I mentioned, if you had joined me for my paint and chat, that was just kind of me on a Thursday night randomly trying it out. I didn't do my normal White Scar shading with the airbrush. Instead, I wanted to highlight all the segmented armor panels. And so I did a lot of just recessed panel lining with my shade color instead of like adding in, the natural shade in places. And so with that stark look, I wanted to add some tonality to the armor, and I figured throwing in some sandy, dusty effects would be a good way of doing that. And it really does help break up all that white armor.
Can y'all hear me okay now?
So that is something I can actually say. Those were so far my only, actually, yeah, that and my Contemptor Dreadnought, my Warhawk Dreadnought, were my only models painted in all of April. It was definitely a slow month for me.
Can you hear me, Mythos?
Finishing that up, I also took the liberty of, I mentioned before that I didn't like the way my yellow was coming out on my orcs. Plus, I wanted to go back and take the opportunity to paint them up as goths anyways. And so I broke out the mean green and gave my orcs a bath. And I love working with pure undiluted mean green to do all my stripping. So I've got 10 slugger boys all stripped down. One boy with the heavy, was it a heavy slugger? No, heavy, gosh, this thing, not slugger, but I'm sure the chat's probably yelling at me right now. Heavy shooter, thank you. I'm not ignoring him.
All right, can everybody hear me? Do I have sound?
Big shooter, yes.
Mythos, can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
All right, make sure the chat can.
Yeah, we'll give it a second. Yes, they can hear you. You have done well.
Fine.
Good.
All right, now we can get back to the business of painting, doggone it.
Also stripped this bad boy down. This Death Copter is going to be very cool.
Man, you've been busy.
So I did a lot of stripping this week, got to pay for the hobby somehow. And in addition to doing all that stripping, I got started on a project for one of my amazing, fantastic, incredible patrons. And I started on this Wolf Lord Smash Captain. I'm not going to show y'all too many details because I want the final effect to be a surprise. But I am pretty damn, there we go. I am pretty damn proud of that cloak. That cloak is coming out pretty well.
Surprise, motherfucker.
The glow effects on the hammer. And you guys may even notice, I don't know how well it reads on camera, but because of the way he's holding the shield, I made sure to airbrush the bottom half of the shield darker than I airbrushed the top of the shield. So that way, it could simulate lighting there. So, putting in some, and I made sure for some tonality, I made sure to make this pelt different than the pelt at his belt. Now, really, just trying to do something nice for one of my patrons. I want to do a good job, right? And so I'm really, trying to. It's skills that I use often, but I really want to push them to do them better than I normally do. If that makes any sense, like doing the same thing but better. So,
I like it.
really pleased with how this project is looking. And of course, you guys can kind of see I've stacked up some cork, and hopefully, I don't think they will. Hopefully, it won't be a modeling for advantage kind of problem. I did add some height to it just because I feel like a Wolf Lord should be on a cool basing, and I just like stuff that looks cool. And I'll either put some snow, or you guys know I love my water effects at the bottom.
You are good with the basing.
I can do water basing. My brother can do water basing. So yeah, that's some stuff I've been working on, and actually, I'm more than halfway done with this. So to get this done in less than a week, or not done, but to get such progress on it in a single week's time, I feel like it's moving along pretty well for me. Not like D, who knocked out 35 models in a month, more than a model a day. But
yeah, that's Elstonation stuff right there, bro.
All right, that's what I've been up to. Freakalicious, aside from fixing your computer, what you been up to, baby?
Well, like I was trying to say, when nobody can friggin' hear me, so I'm wrapping up my intercessors. So I did the sample intercessor, right? This bad boy here. I think it turned out really, really cool. My favorite part is, and I think everybody's favorite so far that's seen it, is the helmet. Got a really cool looking face piece, and yeah. So I think it's going to turn out really, really neat. So this is what I use as my template, and I'm going to do the rest like this. The backpack's a little different too. Did a little something different. Decided I wanted to go with kind of something that looks a little elite, a little special. Not like any other type of Space Marine, if you will. So just a lot of metallics, making it really, kind of stick out.
I love that the helmet looks like Bumblebee. Like, that's amazing to me.
Yeah, and it's got a little gradients too, which I like. So let me see if I can turn him around so you can see if it'll pick up the face. Nah, he's being a jerk. Being a jerk. Let me see if it'll. Yeah, that's whatever. Hey, poop.
Dude, your intercessors are looking gorgeous.
Thank you, man. So yeah,
a lot of people would just say, "Man, they're troop choices." Let's just get them table ready. But you really take that extra step. To make them.
You know what? I really spent a lot of time with my when I first got them, my tactical, and I got excited. My first tactical that I ever did, So this is kind of like, okay. I still have them. I still have the way they look, I didn't have airbrushing, any airbrushing skills at all. I went all hand painted on that thing. And that was my very first attempt at painting anything. And they turn out to be okay, but I want these guys to turn out to be amazing.
I actually had a half thought last night. I was like, I want to get in some more las cannons into my list. I guess I could probably, throw together a quick tactical squad and put a las cannon in. I was like, nah, that's not on brand for me. I talk way too much shit about tactical squads.
Yeah, that would not be a forum on you.
Oh man, I gotta, even if it's effective on the tabletop, I gotta stay on brand.
Indeed, I gotta get my eyes on. Sorry guys, this is the only way I can friggin' see. You guys can see really well. Me.
Now we know we promised you guys a bow tie.
Oh God!
But check out this sexiness.
Hold on. You know what? Hang on a second. Screw you. Go get this thing.
Oh man, I was just messing with him. I wasn't trying to be mean. Oh, with Zane is here. With quarantine, I don't even know what day it is. Man, I know that feeling. I think if I didn't have to, to go to conference calls and stuff like that Monday through Friday, then I think I probably wouldn't keep track of what day it was either. You are quite welcome for the heads up. As soon as we were talking, I remembered that I said I'd send you a reminder. So thank you for dropping in, my brother. What OBS do you use? I've been thinking about getting it from direct streaming to OBS. I think we use OBS with a B, like Bobbert. You get to actually watch Freak putting on the bow tie. How about that?
There you go. Just for you guys.
Oh yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Nice, Lupus. I've received my first historical minis. Yeah, I saw that. Warmutt's getting started on the historical
And to
stuff.
add to the sexiness. Oh yeah.
Now you're doing it right.
Oh yeah.
Lucas
Awesome.
Candace, by the way, Freak, is painting up 16 figures per battalion and 18 battalions, and that's just his infantry.
Oh my God! Why?
That's an Elstonation amount of models to paint right there.
Jesus, I mean, somebody.
He's doing historicals, and he's going a very infantry-heavy route. So.
Wow, I was gonna say somebody got him hostage or something. You're gonna pay 40 of these, or your kid die. I don't know.
I knew I would get tons of help from the chat when I couldn't remember that orc gun. Forgive me, guys. I am still learning orcs. I don't even have a finished model yet, so please forgive me. I'm going to learn my orcs though.
I'm still learning
in fact, today I went and ordered myself. You guys know I like my used mini deals, and I went and ordered myself a War Boss on bike, even though it's in that weird limbo place right now. Heavy shootout. I meant the big shootout. I'm sorry. Let's see. Black Powder, AWI, Continental Army, and British. Yep. Mini war might get started in them historicals. We got Wolfwraith in the chat.
Hey, what's going on, John? What's up, buddy?
Amazing, amazing painter. Again, every week when he drops in, I just want to remind everyone, if you like watching hobby content on Twitch, Wolfray is the place to go. Let's see. Forge the Wild. Wow, Mythos has a beard.
What?
Yeah,
Atlas?
my isolation beard. I hope I get to keep it. I'm really liking it. Watch me go back to the office the first day. That needs to go.
Like, what
Is Freak a cyborg? No, Freak is a mad doc.
what?
All right, and we are caught up with the chat, Freak. What else you been up to this week, baby?
Well, I mean, besides working like a freaking dog, this is it. This is what I wanted to do, man. I've been dying for this. Haven't played any games except video games. Finally got Nina Chick to play again. Seventh Day to Die for about, oh dang it, for about an hour, and then off to bed. You know, that's all I've had time to do, and I hate when I mess up. See, you get to see what I do when I mess up, so I'm kind of scrambling to dab off some of this black off the backpack that I accidentally got on, trying to do the trim color on the shoulder pads. I hate that. Bloody hell. Anyway.
Beard plus face equals orc army. No, that's separate. That's separate. This is my isolation beard. But Freak and I have both been talking about painting up some orcs for 40K. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
I saw in my chat earlier my brother Dazrock Kushranada in the chat, who gifted me his orc army when he got out of the game. So that is why I have orc models to build myself up an army. And it's not a bad collection so far. So I've got 10 boys and a big shooter. I've got I grabbed myself a war chanter to be my weird boy because I think he's the coolest looking and magiest looking orc I've ever seen.
Nice.
He's massive for a 40K orc, but I like that. You know, I feel like this weird boy would be the biggest badass spellcastiest guy. So got that. Like I said, I've got my Death Copter. I've got a War Boss on Bike coming. I've got 2 trucks that my brother gave me. One of them still brand new in box. One of the DACA jets still brand new in box. So I've definitely got some stuff coming for the orcs. So I probably need a couple more troop choices. Oh, and I got a box of Mega Knobs also brand new in box. So I've got a pretty decent starting force. I definitely want to go Goths. I want to take those my weird boy, and to jump my Mega Knobs forward while my boys come forward in their trucks, and smash into some lines, and have my War Boss on Bike giving some rerolls to charge. So that'll be cool.
Imagine having this picture on your wall.
Huh?
Imagine having this picture on your wall. Hey.
Oh
How you
yeah.
doing?
Oh yeah. You know, seeing that brush in your mouth, by the way, just want to let everybody know that if they go over to the Gamecraft Dragon, they can grab some merch that says "Primed for Licking." So, you know, I always celebrate fellow brush lickers, so you can actually get some brush licking gear over there. And it's not actually gear for brush licking, like it's on T-shirts and coffee cups and stuff like that. But you know what I mean.
That sounds like a good song to write. You know?
Gonna be slow but serious DACA Mythos. Yeah, it's with them in the trucks. I've got 2 trucks so far. I think barreling them down in the trucks will give me some of the speed I need. And then I've got the jump for the Mega Knobs, and I love Mega Knobs. I actually want more, and actually if I get the Prophecy of the Wolf, that'll give me 3 more Mega Knobs, so I'll have a big old beefy unit of 6 Mega Knobs just waiting to wreck somebody's Dreadnought or Imperial Knight or something.
Oh, that's something that I did just very briefly, actually. I started playing Dawn of War 2.
Ooh.
Yeah. I haven't played that in so long. I'm like, you know what? I did it for a little bit. I'm like, oh, this is fun. Dawn of War 2, man.
So Daz, I don't know if you're still watching, but I hope you can hear. I'm getting excited now that I'm getting in our hands on these orcs and really strategizing how I'm going to use them. What are you? Who are you playing in Dawn of War, brother?
Well, right now I'm
Are you just
doing
going
the
through the main
campaign.
story as
I'm just doing the campaign, yeah. So of course, it's the Blood Ravens. So
Blood Ravens,
they're
right?
pretty cool, man. Oh,
The favorite army of Wolf right there in the chat.
and isn't that archers too?
You're asking the wrong guy. I think of Archer and I think of so many armies.
I know, but I think Blood Ravens. I thought that was.
I know he plays the Raven Guard.
Yeah, Raven
I know
Guard.
he
I think
has
that's what it is.
some
So.
Blood Angels. I don't know if any of them. And he's got Flesh Terrors. I don't know if he has any other red armies, including the Blood Ravens. I don't think he has any Blood Ravens.
I don't know. I thought I remember. Blood Angels. I don't know. I remember Blood Ravens. Anyway, could be wrong.
Lady Dragon says 3 Stormcast down, 4 to go. Brother Daz is still listening in the chat. Yeah, man, I'm really getting excited for these orcs, man. I've got my strategy down, and I also want to get some RTLW commandos because they make some really amazing looking alternative sculpts for commandos. They look super cool, and I figure I can have a squad or two of the commandos just hiding in Deep Strike, and then they can go charge something with their scout move or whatever. They can rush up and charge something for turn 1. They're not going to be super killy, but they can tie some stuff up until my truck's full of boys and my mega knobs and my storm boys make it across the field to crash into enemy lines. So the Commodore says Blood Ravens are known to steal relics. It's called pulling a Gamecraft dragon. Ooh.
Wow.
Man, those Blood Angels just stole that Space Marine relic like Big B stole the Stormcast. You want your boys in 20-man blobs? Yeah, I only have 10 for now, but I plan on getting more. It's good advice, though. Trucks don't hold enough boys. You want battle wagons for boys. Use the trucks for looters and knobs. It's good advice. Good advice. Warmut says, I think it's because other clans think of them as backstabbers. Who's the backstabbers? Oh, the Blood Axes. I think I'm the only one that likes the Blood Axes. Yeah, I don't hear people talk about the Blood Axes a lot. I hear a lot of people talk about bad moons. I hear a lot of people talk about, I hear a couple people talk about snake bites, but usually it's just the bad moons I hear a lot about. They also, the Prime for Licking merch also has water cups coming. Nice. Zane, I think this from when you had the paintbrush in your mouth earlier. He likes things in his mouth, doesn't he?
Wow. That escalated quickly.
Welcome back, Weather Pig. Super Weather Pig.
Good day, mate.
Craft Dragon says, let me know when you're bringing my nights over, Commodore. Oh, man. Mini Warmut says, Orcs strategy. What? Just wah. Just wah. Wah. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm getting these ideas. Oh, I want to have a big blob of like max number Storm Boys, whatever I can take them in, 20, 30, whatever. Just think about 30 Orc jump pack infantry just coming up the board at you free. Just
yeah.
Sounds like a good time.
Oh, yeah. I'll meet you head on.
You know what doesn't sound like a good time?
Like a bunch of Centurions and aggressors shooting them while they're coming down? Yeah.
You know, that high volume of fire is going to be perfect for that. I was thinking painting big blobs of 30,
yeah,
30 Storm Boys and 30 Orc Boys.
Yeah,
that doesn't sound like a good time.
Yeah. I mean, you thought painting all those, what do you call it? Painting all those salamanders was a pill.
Oh, man. You're talking about your high volume of shots from aggressors and centurions. That's exactly what Brian agrees with in the chat. He's like, Man, Storm Boys are awesome, except they can be like clay pigeons.
Yep.
Just imagine each
Pull!
time one of these orcs jump at you, you're just like, pull.
Yep. Pull.
Yeah. Yeah, there's probably going to be plenty of times your fists are going to shoot me off the table before I get there.
Yeah, but it's all about the numbers, baby. It's all about the numbers, and the orcs have them.
Oh. Yeah,
That'd
man.
be a fun game, though. You know, playing a horde army. Playing against the horde army, rather. That would be really cool.
Very thematic for the fist too, having the lower numbers just holding up in a dugout, shooting down all the orcs that come their way.
I would love to do that. Yeah, that are trying to siege the take over and stuff. That would be amazing. That'd be a great thematic game.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would.
Hold the line thing.
Oh man, so we talked a lot about orcs so far, and I haven't painted nothing. Because I got a lot of stuff in like.
Well, you just dunked them, didn't you? Didn't you just strip them?
Oh yeah, the orcs. Yeah, no, the orcs are freshly stripped. They need to be primed, and I'm at the point with my Smash Captain where I need to prime the backpack and the shoulder pads and the face. Those are the last things to paint. And for some reason, I did not have the foresight to prime those things when I primed everything else. So,
What's your color scheme that you're going to go with?
Going back to the orcs.
Uh-huh.
All right, so I'm going with Clan Goth. And they are mostly gray and black with black and white checkers. And they have some red accents on their stuff. So,
nice.
I mean, gray and black is going to be pretty easy. And honestly, because I have put so much focus into my scars painting, and I feel like because white is such a difficult color to work with, I've put so much, and I'm sorry I keep looking off camera. I'm just looking, I've got my white scars just sitting over here. And I've put so much focus into painting my camera in that it's almost like everything I paint from my white scars is the best I can paint.
Right.
And it takes a lot out of you to make everything you paint the top, as far as you can push,
Right.
And so it's a lot of focus. So I'm thinking that, and this was not a factor. I want to play Goths because I want the melee brutalness, and they're supposed to be the biggest, strongest, of the clans, the charge forward and just hit stuff. That's what I'm going for. But also a fun little side effect is that black and gray color scheme seems like a relatively simple color scheme that I'm really thinking about just making these my, easy paint job, smash them out quick kind of models. I don't, and you know me, I'm an overachiever, so I might go back and just decide to overdo everything. But I'm thinking this might just be my paint it quick kind of army, and not push it as much as I push my white scars. Although I don't know, I feel like if I do that though, I may have one of my big brothers just quietly shaking his head at me like, I know he could have painted that better. Forge of the Wild says Poxwalkers versus Orcs. That's going to be so many bodies versus so many bodies.
Wow. You still playing those Atlas? Oh my god. I hate those guys.
Yeah, to see a massive green tide covering over 50% of the table, it's such a cool sight. No. That's something that interested me. I was watching a channel called Auspex Tactics yesterday, and I've always thought of orcs as being these really, really big horde armies. I always hear, boys before toys, and they're usually a numbers kind of army, and they're usually massive. And I hear that all the time in regular, like 1,800 to 2,000 point tournaments, that it's not abnormal to bring almost 200 boys.
Oh my god!
Two battalions at max number of boys, 3 sets of 30, 2 battalions of that. I hear that's not uncommon, or at least used to not be uncommon. And I thought about that, and on Auspex Tactics, he was talking about, really cool channel, by the way, one of my favorites to listen to for strategy
really
tactics, by the way. Not a friend of the channel. He's a massive YouTuber. I don't think he knows who I am. But I am just saying I enjoy their content. So this is not one of those plugging my friends kind of deal. I just genuinely, if you enjoy strategy talk, it's a good channel.
Yeah, and the thing is, he breaks it down very, very clearly, and where it's easy to understand.
Yeah, because you guys know your Wolf Brother and the Freakalicious are not meta chasers. We do not understand meta at all.
No, I don't even know the word. I can't even spell meta.
We will get our teeth kicked in any given game.
Yeah, absolutely.
He breaks the information down to where even someone like us can understand.
Yep. So he can speak dumb. He's speaking my language. Good.
Commodore, no. Troop choices are exempt from the rule of 3, so they're the only thing exempt from it. So I was listening to Auspex Tactics, and he was breaking down who had the cheapest battalions, and it kind of amazed me to hear that an Orc battalion, what did he say, was 200 or 300 points,
really?
And compared to like Space Marines and of course Imperial Guard and stuff like that. Like, they were actually more expensive for a battalion than the others. And it was interesting to hear because, if you're taking 6 sets of max size, boys, that just seems like, wow, like, how do they get away with spending that many points?
Wait, I'm not sure if I follow. So what you're saying is that Orcs have the cheapest.
Well, they run a horde that, like I said, around 200 troops, right?
Yeah.
But they did not have the cheapest battalion.
Wow.
Which I thought was really interesting.
Okay, I didn't realize that was. I figured it was going to be the cheapest, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was surprised it was kind of in the middle as far as cost for a battalion.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even including boys, because they were just calculating with Gretchen. Gretchen being their cheapest troop choice. Right. Gretchen, by the way, are just like 40k goblins. Yeah, I mean, Imperial Guard is definitely among the cheapest, and I think the next closest one was, well, keep in mind, I am very Imperial faction minded, so if there's anything, with some of the Xenos or the Chaos, but I want to say Chaos was more expensive than most of the Imperial stuff. Anyways, right after Imperial Guard, within just a few points, was Admech, and I can't remember anyone being as cheap as the two of them. Admech, by the way, it was cool to see on the list. Whereas what Imperial Guard has, what they call the Loyal 32, the cheapest base battalion. You can get what's called a Rusty 17 with the Admech, which is just 3 bare bone squads and 2 tech priests, and that's it. Boom, wow. Cheap. So it's a good way to add battalion points.
So you got everybody get a gander. That's what they came to see. This right here.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
I don't know why. For some reason, in the bow tie and the glasses, not your regular glasses,
these,
but the hobby glasses.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I really get a vibe from Honey, I Shrunk the Kid. Are cultists cheaper than Guard? I honestly, this is what I was mentioning earlier, I'm very Imperial focused. So I don't remember. I don't remember what it was with the, as far as cultist versus Guard. Oh, Dave is getting, much cooler. Dave is getting a Ghostbusters vibe, if that makes you feel any better.
Wow.
Let's see. Inquisitor Dane says, each orc dead, another pox for the horde. Yeah, actually, I think a horde versus horde with poxwalkers can get out of control real fast. Real fast. I think that would just be feeding the poxwalkers at that point.
Yeah, that would be a long freaking game, dude. Although it would be very thematic as well,
Oh yeah, absolutely. It would be very one-sided, I think, at some point.
Yes.
But yeah, it would be very thematic. Minnie Warmutt says, "This is weird. I finally decide to start a Space Marine army, and Mythos begins an Orc army."
That's how it goes, bro.
As far as our cultists cheaper than Guard, Atlas says yes, but not conscripts unless things have changed. And I think that was one of the things that they were talking about is, using conscripts, even though you're not getting as much bang for your buck because they only hit on 5s. As far if you're just trying to make a cheap battalion, it is the way to go. Good night, Brother Daz. Once again, thank you so much for the orcs, and I'm really stoked to finally, be sinking my teeth in, man.
Yeah.
Zane says, horde orcs versus poxwalkers would get so out of control we'd have to start using paper clips as stand-ins.
Oh, yeah. Good God.
Yep, this pile of paper clips consolidates into your tank. God dang it.
Yeah, I remember playing Atlas, man. Oh my God, those freaking potwalkers are just horrible.
Oh, yep. They were apparently nerfed. Now every poxwalker must be paid for, even if obtained by a dead enemy. I guess it's just like
really
now.
Oh, so that makes it a little more expensive. Hey, that kind of. Hey, I'm okay with that.
All right. I am thinking about breaking out my airbrush. If the sound starts to get too loud for you guys, let me know, and I will mute myself whenever the compressor is on.
It's too loud. Oh.
Bring out your Legos. All right. All these red pieces are now my poxwalkers. Zane says, I wanted to make no fun. I wanted to make an infinite army. I think that's the dream when people decide to go the infinite spawn route with poxwalkers. You can refresh. Okay, so you can use dead bodies to refresh your lost poxwalker. So basically, if people keep killing them, you can keep standing them up, but you can't make new ones. That's pretty. That's actually not so bad. If you can still keep refreshing, And I know like Atlas had, big blobs. So if someone killed 20 out of your 30 or whatever, and I don't actually know if these are legal numbers. I'm just throwing numbers out there. Somebody killed 20 out of your 30, and then you killed a bunch of stuff. At least you could keep refreshing.
Man, let me tell you what the worst thing, dude. When your character gets turned, dude, that was. I think he did that to Lysander.
Yeah, I remember you were so salty when he did that to Lysander.
Oh, dude, I was so pissed. I said, dude, no, screw that. So I did everything I could to kill him just to get him out of the misery, Oh my God, I was so mad. Dude, I was done.
Oh man, I bet.
And that was just my luck rolls. Like,
and that's when Freak bought and painted up 3 Vindicaria assassins.
Yeah.
Bring out Typhus now.
Yeah. I'd give him Typhus. Give it to him like.
It reminds me of like when you're playing something like Call of Duty. You've got the sniper rifle and somebody's hiding behind a barrel, and you're like, stick that head out. One more again. One more again. Kind of like an all-marine infantry army. I know. What's cool is I used to watch this channel called Tabletop Banter. And he had a word bearers army that he would play, like, I think the tournaments he would go to was like 2,500 points. And it was very Ashen Circle focused. And he would play literally all infantry.
Oh my.
All infantry at 2,500 points. And he said that he was always a popular guy at the tournaments because whether he won because he was just all over all the objectives, or if he lost because they just killed a bunch of infantry, that people always had a good time because they would just, no matter what, he would just be breaking piles of dead body from his side of the board every turn. It was definitely a drown them in your blood kind of list. And so people tend to have a good feeling about that. Win or lose, that people like looked at it as a challenge. Like, man, I pulled off 200 dead bodies off the board. I feel like I did a good job, even though I lost.
Yeah, it's kind of, like you said, it's kind of Oh, it's kind of satisfying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I am definitely about that kind of simple gratification. So, like, and I think I've mentioned this on the show before. Like, if I win or lose, I don't mind in a 40K game. I just want it to be close. I want it to feel like I accomplished something,
Yeah.
right? Now, if you have one of those like powerless feeling games where like
Like mine.
you not only lost, but you may have taken like 3 of their models away and they took your whole army out, that's not a satisfying feeling. Me, if I'm losing by like 15 points, but I pulled a lot of bodies off the table and killed some stuff, I'm having a good time. Give me some, if I feel like I accomplished something. In that game that you played against Atlas here, kill count was more than 120 people.
Shut up.
Hey, that's a pretty good kill count number, man.
Dude, they kept coming, man.
You had a real life zombie scenario.
I sure as hell did. That was freaky as hell.
Garrett, by the way, good evening, my brother. Great to see you, my man. Man, you ever have a song that just triggers memories for you?
Oh my god, all the time, dude.
Last night we were watching some music videos, and I came across Rooftops by Lost Prophets. And man, Lily and I were singing that together, and I was just instantly transported. I have so many amazing memories of being at group hangout night, and we're doing Rock Band or Guitar Hero, and that was one of those feel-good songs that even when one of us would start the level and sing it, like the rest of the fam would come in all singing that,
Yeah.
just, brothers draping an arm over your shoulder with a beer in the other hand, everybody just singing along. That was one of those, man, it was pretty great.
That's awesome.
And so I got really nostalgic feeling because I haven't seen the fam in, of course, weeks. And I was just like, that really hit me in the feels.
Dude, tell me about it. I haven't seen him in like forever. I feel like it's been years. Last time I've seen guys like, heck, not even Daz, dude. I mean, Roxas I've seen recently, or at least recently within like 2 or 3 months ago or whatever. It's like very few of the team. Ethan and Lars. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I miss seeing those
definitely.
guys.
We all got to see each other when this is all over.
Yeah, definitely.
Garrett says, I think I only made it to one of those, but it was fun. It definitely was, my brother. We got to do some more of those. Although none of my Guitar Hero Rock Band equipment still work after, all this time. Garrett says, I'm pretty sure losing all my units to Cloud one game and Raz the next has scarred me for life. I feel that. I love Cloud to death. Cloud is my bro, and we have been brothers for more than 15 years. That dude has scarred me. Those freaking Tau. Like, I have a deep-seated hate for Tau, and I know that it comes from playing against Cloud. Oh, man. I love Cloud to death, but I can't stand the Tau now. I totally understand the permanent scarring. If you guys in the chat, by the way, have ever been permanently scarred by a certain kind of army, let me know. Freaks is Necrons. He had games where no matter what kind of shots he kept throwing at the Necrons, they just kept getting back up. And it was a lot like you read about in Necron lore, that powerless feeling of just them marching, and slowly taking over the game or the world. It was just like that in the game, and that powerless feeling that nothing he could shoot at these Necrons would make them stay down.
Yeah, but it was actually worse because I had just started playing, and I think the guy I was playing wasn't really playing it right.
Yeah. We've mentioned that before too. There was one person or a couple of people who played Necrons at our store, and I guess we were being taught by a TO who kind of halfway remembered the rules. He's like, I've been in this hobby for 42 years.
Yeah.
And he had a memory like he'd been in the hobby for 42 years. And and he would mix up rules all the time. So basically, he ended up telling the 2 Necron players that we had, yeah, everything in your army has this 4-up feel no pain or something ridiculous like that. So We went back later and found out. Actually, it was in a battle report we were in. Somebody kept pointing out, or people in our comments kept pointing out that person couldn't have gotten all those field O pains for 4-up, and we found out after the fact. We ended up going and looking at the code. By the way, it's a really good lesson. If you're ever questionable about, man, the regime's really overpowered, just simply ask them, can I see that in your codex? Can I just take a look at that? Because that would have been so helpful at the time. Again, we were being taught by somebody who kind of remembered everybody's rules, but not really. And I think sometimes when somebody is just 10% off of accurate, it's worse than not knowing, because at least if you don't know something, you're like, I don't know, look it up. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But people who think they remember,
they're not going to bother.
Yeah, it's just like, no, I know this. That's this thing. And we ended up, oh my God, I've embarrassed myself at multiple tournaments because I learned playing this way. And I had been told multiple times, this is the way this is. This is the way this is. This is the way this is. I'd go to tournaments and they're like, you can't play like that. Why not? Because this is, they explain, this is how the rule is in the book. And this is how, that translates.
Well, this is how RTO says. Like, no.
Oh, well, at my store, it's always played like, right? They're like, yeah, at your store, they play it wrong.
Right.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I'll go home
I have
now.
been embarrassed multiple times that way.
I go home.
Which is, again, I'm thankful that the person took the time to teach us all, a bunch of newbies, how to play. I'm very thankful. However, it's just, sometimes I think that may have actually helped contribute to the fact that Freak is permanently scarred by Necrons.
Yep.
Heinrich Botha says you're permanently scarred by Necrons because Necrons are awesome.
Sure, why not? I think they look cool. I don't get me wrong. I think they really look cool. They're cool freaking. It just remind me of the Borg. But dude, oh man, I mean, the guy just, I don't know. No, it was just bad. It was just bad, dude. I was having a bad day.
Talking about armies that scarred you, Garrett says, yeah, and Raz and his D-Scythe one shot my Paladin squad and I keep wanting to say Khal Drago, and I'm like, what? This Game of Thrones.
That's what you want to call him, bro. I'm good.
Khal Drago, I want to say. Khal Drago. There we go. Mini More Mutt says Grey Knights. Apparently he's very scarred by Grey Knights.
Oh,
and
man.
it's funny because Garrett here plays Grey Knights. So we have a scarred person and then a scarred person who scars another person. Lupus hates Ultra Smurfs.
Really? Wow.
Currently, I've got
had a bad time with the.
I've got a patrol detachment of Ultramarines painted up. Please don't unsubscribe.
I'm done with this channel.
I hope that dude taught you how to play 40K. Isn't a flight instructor. I pray so too. I want to say he's an IT person. Oh, Lady Dragon also says freaking Grey Knights. Inquisitor Dane says 7th edition Eldar. 7th edition Eldar are exactly the ones that scarred Garrett there as well. With those D weapons, they were very strong at the time. I mean, they're still strong, but not as strong as when they had the D weapons. Those were just crazy amounts of damage. They were pretty good. They were really good. Oh man, I remember I had this one game with Garrett there, and I also did. I'm going to confess now. I did Garrett wrong once. Forgive me, live chat, for I have sinned. But Garrett had just had a game with Brother Daz where he tabled Brother Daz, and he was talking. He had to, as bros do, right? We have big talk. We tease each other sometimes. He's like, yeah, well, we Grey Knights can take Terminators as troop choices, so And I was the next person scheduled to play against Garrett, and I was terrified. So I cheesed out my list and took a Wolf Guard squad, which you can give all plasma pistols, and I took I had a patrol detachment with just like an HQ and a squad of Blood Claws, And then after I fulfilled my minimum detachment, I brought in a pack of Wolf Guard with all plasma pistols. Cheesy, because plasmas were Terminator killers back in 7th edition. And I was just afraid of this giant Terminator squad coming and wrecking my crap. So I may have plasma spammed him. But we were all new players at the time. But yeah, I cheesed him. So still think about that to this day. I have regrets.
Wow.
But see, now that I'm not a new player, I know that you should not do that, especially to your friends.
I
but
know
especially
to do it not.
I don't do that kind of stuff now.
No.
I'm very, very gentle when playing against new
Sure
people.
you are. Yeah. I'm gentle. I've felt your gentle touch.
Yeah, me plasma spamming Garrett is almost like having a learning game and inviting your daughter and then taking Hell Blasters against them.
Wow, dude. Had to bring that up, huh?
Gamecraft Dragon says the custodies are broken. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard they've left many people scarred. Inquisitor Zane says, I got Grey Knights because I like Terminators. Now my Paladins cost 500 to 600 points for a squad. Oof. I like Grey Knights, but they're so expensive. But like financially, it's a good idea to get into Grey Knights because you only got to paint up like 5 models.
I want to answer a question that I think Big D might have asked. I think I think he did. How did the game go with the boy? It never happened yet. He was supposed to. We were supposed to get together, but he actually, which was a good thing. He actually spent some time with my daughter and Mrs. Freak going over budget stuff. So he's just a smart kid, He was learning to do budgets and stuff like that, which is really important. I think that was probably good use of his time. Although I was like, we'll schedule it again. He's really wanting a game.
So he saw the live chat, huh?
What? So
he saw the live chat, huh?
Yeah, he probably did. Like, nah, I like budgets. I like, Nah, he's a good kid. Like I said, he wants to learn to play, and we still got a game to do. So we're gonna do that, but we just got to schedule it. We might do that tomorrow. I know we're gonna be getting together to do an early Mother's Day for the wife, and he's gonna be there. I think he's gonna want to play, so we may actually break him out and do a quick 500. That'll
be awesome. Dave says the most important thing is that he brings you a box of orcs before the new game.
Is that how that goes?
Here you go, Dad. I heard you wanted to get into orcs.
Right. Oh, you're watching the channel.
Oh. Zane says, teach budgeting before 40K. They do go hand in hand together.
Oh, yeah.
Dave says, have you dudes ever edge highlighted the grooves at the bottom sides of the casing of a Space Marine bolter? It's so difficult. I just paint it all with the edge highlight color, then carefully remove it with the base paint to leave a thin edge. Sometimes when I have a difficult to highlight area, I do that. I do it in reverse as well. Paint the darker color on top. It's all about accessibility.
Yeah, whatever's easier, yeah.
Mini Warmut says, of course, I rolled 1s and 2s. Didn't help either in 7th edition.
Oh.
7th edition, I think, in general, was harder on the new player, I feel like. I feel like as someone who likes to take new people and explain the game to them, I feel like it is easier to do in 8th edition.
Yes, it is easier to explain. Because the base rules are pretty simple. The phases and... yeah, I think it's cool.
7th edition vehicles were cool. I kind of like 8th edition vehicles. The fact that you don't have to worry about, what is the angle and, what radius does this turret have? And, I think it's just...
Is it that everybody liked, whenever you were shooting or getting shot, it was like the side that, you have to figure out which side you were getting shot at and... the angle and all that crap. Gosh,
Some people
that was
like that for the realism.
Yeah.
Some people like the armor value system. Some people like the status effect, how you could blow up something if you rolled well, or you could, have something just be shooken or something like that.
Straighten this thing up.
Phoenix says, yes, see here, son. You see this budget you did all this hard work on? Now, when you go to the Games Workshop store, they have a shredder when you walk in. And when you walk in, and that's where you file it.
That's funny.
Paycheck. I think it added more strategy. There is more strategy in being like, I need to move this troop to get the side armor or the back armor. I get that. I think, though, it really, stuff like that, I think by doing it the way it is now in 8th edition, sure, it removes that as a strategy component, but I feel like it just makes the game flow better, I feel like. I like sneaking Melta-Boys in behind. I like having the setup to kill vehicles instead of volley firing them to death with bolt guns. I mean, people always cite that as an example. You guys know your Wolf Brother doesn't believe in AP0 weapons. Have you ever actually seen that accomplished, where you can volley fire a tank to death? I know it's possible, it's feasible. I have not seen it happen, except with Imperial Fists when they're dealing mortal wounds when they do that, which is different because it's mortal wounds. Even though everybody cites that as an example, I do not believe in AP0 weapons.
Well, some people don't believe in Santa Claus either. What does that make you?
My usual plan for a vehicle is to hit him with the hammer. You right. I feel the same way, brother. You're right. Centurion Devastators do throw out a stupid amount of shots, and they are exactly who I was thinking about with the Imperial Fists.
Did you want to talk about the idea that we were talking about earlier?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, dude!
I am so excited.
I can't.
Hi, my name is Mythos, and I'm 34 years old, and I've got a basketball game tomorrow. No, wait, no, that's something else.
Good.
Guys, I am really excited. Freak and I were talking, and of course, if you guys had to pick one thing you feel like your Wolf Brother bitches about the most and the most passionately since 8th edition, what would you guys say it was?
Besides,
There's probably going to be a lot of answers here, by the way.
Besides Tau. Can't answer Tau.
Okay, that's fair. Tau was in all caps as the very first answer.
Yes.
Okay. You're right. Tau is the first. My other thing I'm most passionate about is the lack of loyal prime. Okay, well, that is also viable. Man, I do a lot of books.
That's awesome.
You're right. Lack of loyal Primarchs. But the other thing I'm passionate about is that 8th edition removed my boy, my favorite Wolf Lord of all time, the man who was on my table in almost every game in 7th edition, even if it wasn't strategically a good idea, because I loved this Wolf Lord, and that is Bran freaking Redmaw. And I am very, 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 very disappointed that he's not here in 8. And we know he's still in the lore because he's mentioned in the Codex several times. And he actually has rules if you play Apocalypse, which we don't. And that's on us, I get it. But he's in Apocalypse if you have him. And in one of the Forge World FAQs, they say, oh, you can run Brad Redmaw. Just run him as a generic Wolf Lord. Really? That's if he doesn't turn into a werewolf, he's not Brad Redmaw.
Right. That's total crap. Yeah.
And his mechanic was so situational. I never felt like he was OP. Did he get very powerful if he got to transform? Yes. But did he get to transform? Probably about 1 in every 3 to 4 games. So it was like starting on turn 1, he had a 0% chance to turn into a werewolf. On turn 2, He could on a 6-up on turn 3. He had a 4-up, and then for the rest of the game it was a 4-up. And then if he saw somebody in combat, if he had line of sight to another Space Wolf unit in combat, his chances would go up by another one. And with that, that was my favorite thing. And we had some really, really cool games where, like, there was one where Freak had me outgunned and surrounded, and Lysander actually came up and he blew up the Rhino that had my Wolf Lord and his Grey Hunter escort with him in it. He blew up the Rhino and then killed most of the Grey Hunters around him. I think there might have been 1 or 2. Yes, it was Johnny and Bob we were joking about. Poor Johnny and Bob were the only Grey Hunters left from that massacre. And my Wolf Lord was, almost dead too. And my turn came back around. I started my turn, and I rolled a freaking 6, and he turned into a werewolf.
God.
And his werewolf rules, it was called the Red Maw, where he would take on all the attributes of a monstrous creature, and he would get the smash ability, where he could double his strength and get crazy. I think it was AP2, which at the time was basically the equivalent of an AP3 or whatever. It was the one where you don't get any saves. It was AP2 at the time.
Everything died.
Everything died. And you got, of course, the monstrous creature number of attacks and stuff like that. His attacks went up. His health went up. It was such a cool mechanic. And he was down to him, Bobby, and Johnny. And he wolfed out and ended up killing Lysander and his Terminator escort. It was so cool. It turned the game around. And for every one of those, there was a couple where he got to wolf out and do some cool stuff in the end. But for every game that was like that, there was plenty of games where I'm like, man, I really need Brand to wolf out any minute now. Roll a 1, roll a 2, roll a 3. And at the time, by the way, your Wolf Brother was known for rolling the most 1s at the time. At some point, my curse moved on to Freak.
Yep.
Because I literally once rolled 8 saves and rolled 8 1s.
We have witnesses.
1s.
Yep, there are witnesses.
See, the problem is with the character creator is I actually want the werewolf mechanic. I could use the character creator, but I want the actual werewolf mechanic.
Right. So tell them what we were talking about.
So we're planning on doing a series where I am going to start converting my own Red Maw. And then we're going to do a custom game, make out some rules for them. And I plan on heavily taxing myself, to keep it fair. So the tax will be something like, I don't know, 200, 300. I think the old point value for Logan Grimnar on Stormrider used to be like 250. Anyways, I'm willing to pay a ridiculous amount of points to handicap myself on someone who may never turn into a werewolf, depending on how I roll. But just to try and bring back this mechanic in the way he was. And I want to do, because I had kind of I enjoyed the conversion at the time, but now the level I paint and do stuff now, the conversion was super simple at the time. I took a Logan Grimnar head. I took a Space Marine veteran that has like an armor panel and a cloak and chains wrapped around his biceps. And I replaced the axe head on that model and basically converted up my own brand Red Maw. And now, because, the scale of things changing in Space Wolves, he looks like and he was a metal model at the time. You guys know the metal Space Marines were a little smaller than even the plastic kits that are out now. So now he looks like just a little small, runty guy, has brand Red Maw. So I want to build up a big, proper, imposing brand Red Maw now. So I plan on converting one up. I want to show you guys how I plan to make him, and I want to make him look brutal. And then I'm going to get something for his werewolf form, which, again, I had a really cool Reaper, metal Reaper werewolf as my brand Red Maw at the time. In fact, I colored his fur with from black to browns, and then highlighted all the browns with the blood red to really bring out the idea of a werewolf called the Red Maw, because blood is dripping down his fur and his chin and stuff like that. So he was highlighted up red. He's pretty cool, but he's not as big and beefy as imposing as I'm thinking now. And we plan on merging these ideas. And one of the things, mythos modifications, that's not bad. One of the things we're talking about is maybe for the monstrous werewolf profile. One of the closest things we found is the Wolf and Dreadnought. And that might be the transformation there. We're going to look at some stuff, but we want it to be as close as we can get it to the 7th edition kind of mechanics without, of course, being 7th edition.
Right. Before everybody starts like, well, why the heck would Freak agree to something like that? I mean, did you talk to Freak about this? Well, yeah. I was the one who
actually it's Freak's idea.
Because honestly, I was thinking, wouldn't it be freaking amazing if we can, resurrect him, bring him back? I mean, he's never been dead. It's like, hey, he went on a hiatus, homie's back, and I'd love to see him. Look, I'll be honest with you. When we used to play him in the 7th edition, man, one of the things that I really, really loved was when he brought Bran Redmaw, because he got so excited, even when he did not convert, when he didn't change. That was Mythos highlight. That was like, best thing ever. But man, when he changed, oh my gosh, I got excited. Mythos got excited, and I'm watching. He's just destroying everything, going ape all over the place. I'm like, holy cow, he just wiped out half my army. That was pretty freaking cool. It's a really, really cool mechanic. And I said, you know what? It'd be fun to see if he ever wolf out again. I missed it. Yeah. It's been since that 7th edition. It's like, oh man, and those are fun times, man. So, and you know what? This is just us. I mean, it's not gonna be tournament, ready, but heck, it's gonna be a fun time.
And we're probably whenever we kick off this series, we're gonna start a hashtag, and wherever you guys do your social media, you guys could help us by tagging GW. And not yet, whenever we start the series.
Yeah.
So if you guys can help us by, going wherever you guys social media, your Twitter, your Instagrams, that tag GW and hashtag with us, bring back Bran. That would
Dude, that would be so much fun, man.
Now, I mean, we're small fish in a big pond. I don't think we'll actually get GW's attention. But man, if I can contribute even a drop that helps bring back Bran Redmaw,
would be cool.
That would be amazing. So, Mini Warmup says, call the series Mythos Modifications. Archer decided to say, unsalting the Wolf Brother.
Yeah, pretty much.
Bring Bran back. That might be better, actually. Zane says, why not make the hashtag Bring Bran back?
I like that. Coin it.
Yep.
Bring Bran back. BBB.
See, this is why we pay you the big dollars.
That's right.
I still haven't painted anything. I've just been running my mouth this whole time. Atlas, thank you so much for joining us tonight. My brother, rest well and have a great day at work.
Good night, bro.
Although, I just mentioned us being small-time YouTubers. We are currently 1 sub away from 700.
Oh, my gosh.
So,
we're going to call mama and tell him to join?
We're going to have to do us a little giveaway, won't we?
Oh, yeah, you ain't lying.
We haven't done one in a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah. What would probably be a good thing for us to give away? Would probably be these brand new Frosted Fish shirts I just dropped in the chat. That would probably be something pretty cool.
Guys, go check that out. I could not believe that Mythos was like, hey, check this out. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I didn't even tell him what it was. I just dropped him a link.
Oh my gosh. I squealed like a schoolgirl. I did. I really did. I was like, oh, this is so cool. I'm getting the freaking coffee cup, the mug. I'm getting it.
Pay someone to design a new brand as a print file and pay to have the dragons print some out, and then you sell them. See, that's what we don't want to do, because if we start selling a brand Red Maw, then GW will never bring back.
Yeah, we don't want to go to jail, and we don't want our stuff marked down. I don't think so. We want to minimize lawsuits.
I mean, you couldn't call him Bran. I mean, if we were to do something like that, you'd have to call him something like You know, the
Like Brian Red
the
Monkey.
Sanguine Maw.
Yeah, yeah. And not even Maw. You can't even use Maw.
Mini Warmutt says he's getting the socks.
Hey, they nice and warm in them socks, boy.
Brian Redface.
Right? There you go. Good stuff, man. Good freaking stuff.
Instead of Wolf Lord Brand, Wolf Warrior Brian. New merch. Is there an F&F beer? Man, I wish there was beer. I wish I could still drink beer.
What would it be though? What kind
Damn you, diabetes.
What kind of beer would it be if we were to actually?
Man, you know, my favorite's dark beer.
I know.
I love a good Bach.
I got a Guinness sitting in my fridge right.
Ooh, that sounds good. Jarl Mazark. We have a Jarl in the house. Good to see you, my man. If it's a model not in production, you can make them, I believe. So the problem is that they designed him, they actually displayed him at a couple of Forge World Open days, but never put him into production. And one of the reasons that has been going around the community that they never, well, first of all, they were having trouble with the making, like they were able to do a master cast, but actually getting it to cast for mass production was a problem.
Right.
And anyways, eventually the reason they said or not they said, it is a legend that one of the reasons they got rid of the data sheet is because it was taking them so long to actually put out a brand Red Maw model. Third-party companies started making the sculpt. And when third-party companies started doing that, they were like, oh, somebody else other than us is making brand Red Maws and making money off of it. We're going to pull the whole brand Red Maw project. So that is allegedly the reason why there is no brand Red Maw right now.
Little horse crap.
German Schwarzbier is awesome. Very cool. I'd love to try it. I'm a big fan of German beers. One thing I do want to try is apparently there is a Mythos beer. It's a Greek beer.
Oh.
It's like my name, but spelled with a Y, like, you know, a legendary Mythos. And yeah, I want to try that at some point, even though I'm not supposed to drink beer anymore, because it's borderline my name, right? Got to try one.
Bad, okay. Clear, bad.
GW own the IP, they can take you down for anything related to it. Even if you say it isn't him, they will win in court. I don't know about that, because there are lots of companies out there that have very, very obvious, not Rust, not Sanguinius kind of models.
Yeah. The thing is, even like if you go to if you have a 3D printer, you can get miniatures from Thingiverse, but because they're called something different and because they're slightly modified, like a helmet or say, you know, something about a part of the armor, and they call it something else, you can't touch it.
And I think the silhouette has to be different too. I think the silhouette.
Yes. Yeah, it can't be like your typical pose that you can see. So.
I know a company made Gabriel Angelos and released it for free because GW wouldn't let them sell it. That's true.
It's true. Thingiverse is definitely free. That makes sense.
Speaking of RTLW, I really want to get my hands on some RTLW Commandos. That'll be cool.
That sounds kind of...
Going Commandos. You know, the orc kind of Commandos.
You want to get your hands on Commandos, huh? Okay, there.
Yep, War Games exclusive is the exact one I was thinking about, with very obvious Angel, you know, Sanguinius, Lion, and Russ. Speaking of which, man, after seeing Brother Corbin do that Kabuki Russ, man, I got to get one of those.
Oh my gosh!
And then we did the Art of the Week where he had one of those Kabuki Russes with the chains around his. Oh, man, that was cool.
Dude, he's a beast, man. The heck of a singer too. I didn't realize that.
Yep, Wolf Lord Prime. Yep, that's it. Yeah, not Primarch. It's a Wolflord Prime. It's different. It's totally
Right.
different.
Like, you know, Optimus Prime, Wolflord Prime.
All right, so guys, man, I have done zero cleaning. I keep saying I'm going to crank up the airbrush, but before I crank up the airbrush, I have a topic that really interested me this week, and I had to call and drop it in group chat and call Freak over the phone because I was really feeling some kind of way about this topic. And we are,
Yeah,
wow, I've done nothing but run my mouth tonight, and we are only an hour away. I mean, it's already 10 o'clock.
Let me answer that for modeling for advantage. So I am painting my intercessors, my Imperial Fist intercessors. I've already got one pretty much done, except for the basing. And this is what I'm modeling it after. So I'm doing the rest like this. So really like how they turned out. I've done something different. I wanted my intercessors to look more like an elite unit instead of like, you know, because I want them different. I didn't want them to look like my tacticals at all. So I definitely wanted them to look really, really, really cool. So you'll see like the backpack is a little more metallic. The front face guard is metallic, and the lenses are blue. Just really, just kind of look.
Really
Hey, these guys are
dark
really
metallic too, which makes that bright
Yes.
blue eyes pop.
Exactly.
He looks like freaking Bumblebee.
Yeah,
He really does.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm going for. And I think once they're all put together and I'll get the pics, I think they're gonna look really well. So really excited about this project. So
Garrett says you're an elite unit. Got him.
so I just finished putting the base down for my metallics. Got all the black down. I even used for the red because I'm going to use what am I going to use here? Not Mephiston red because that's a little too bright. Where is it? So yeah, I'm going to use corn red for the Aquila in the front, and what I used for the base on that, so it would kind of stand out nicely, is the smoky ink. That works out really nice. So gives it anything I paint red or gold, I put that underneath. So that's what I'm doing. About to put some metallics on this bad boy.
Modeling for Advantage says looks good.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Inquisitor Zane says on Thingiverse, custodians are called interstellar babysitters, interstellar janitors, or interstellar nannies. He's heard all three. All right, before I crank on this airbrush, guys, something I heard about and that really kind of bothered me. And man, I really should have taken the opportunity while you were showing your amazing work to get the name of this right. But basically, so I saw a video that said, should all Space Marines be rolled into one? And that right there was a very provocative topic for me to immediately jump on and say, what is this about?
Mm-hmm.
And so it turns out that one of the groups, I wasn't actually expected to be something that included me, but it turns out the 40K White Scars group I'm a part of, and I get a lot of inspiration from my White Scars, learn more about the lore of the White Scars, and basically some very some faction focused sharing about White Scars in general was being shut down. And apparently the moderators, they run multiple Space Marines groups, and they said in general they're just going to combine into one Space Marine chat no matter what color armor it is, and it's just going to be one. They're closing down all the other popular 40K groups because apparently they have the same mods for all of them. All the popular 40K groups for different Space Marines. It's all going to be one umbrella, and which of course started a bunch of. They actually had to shut off comments because, a lot of people protested. A lot of people. There were some people that could see why they were doing it, which of course eventually they shut off the comments. But then I started seeing other people on Facebook and stuff like that bring up the discussion and the idea. And it's funny how something that started as a simple Facebook groups discussion or action with one group
Blew up,
really got some people talking, and I thought that was really interesting. And of course, I found it by seeing a YouTube video pop up, and I'm trying to bring up because I want to be able to cite my sources correctly. And of course, when you're trying to do something popular and professional like that, of course, that's when you lose your page. And I hate when YouTube like automatically scrolls to the top. It's like, screw whatever you were looking at before. We're
Right,
going
you're
all
gonna
the way-
see this.
But anyways, Freak, what do you think of that idea that all Space Marine factions should be rolled up into one?
We talked about that. You know, honestly, I don't think it's something that will happen. I mean, okay, let me just go with the argument, right? So some people are saying, hey, you know, the whole reason why they're doing it is because they feel like, you know, GW is making all, they're going to make all the Space Marines the same. They're all going to be the same, right? Now,
Yeah, that was so. The original admin said we're just going to make it easy to moderate one group of Space Marines, but that sparked a bunch of different talk, and of course, a lot of people started speculating.
right.
And of course, you know how it goes. Somebody says, "I know somebody that knows them." Everybody
Right.
knows a guy who knows a guy, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so some of the talk or chatter that came out of that is some people feel like GW is moving towards a forcing all Space Marines to be the same, right? And some of the things that people cited was like, if you look at, and I think we talked about this a lot when Prophecy of the Wolf was coming out, some people were really disappointed when their faction, be it Dark Angels, Blood Angels, Space Wolves, especially Death Watch, you poor guys got regulated to a White Dwarf instead of a Codex supplement. They felt like, man, they're just forcing these vanilla Space Marine stratagems. They're forcing these vanilla Space Marine doctrines. We're not getting anything special. They're just forcing us to be more like vanilla Space Marines. Now, I have a couple problems with that. First of all, the fact that they were doing, well, you know what? I asked you your opinion. But yeah, that's some of the things they were saying is that GW is trying to force us all to be more like vanilla Space Marines, and we're all supposed to be like each other. Freak, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, when I first started seventh edition, right? And again, and that's something that I even mentioned. I say, well, I'm really curious to know how people think that who've been playing since second edition, right? But me, just starting out at seventh edition, I felt like, in a sense, all the Marines, you know, like Imperial Fists and, you know, Crimson Fists and, you know, all these other guys, they were pretty much vanilla. And there were a handful of special, you know, special type chapters that kind of stuck out. And I love that uniqueness. It was there, and I accepted it. It was all right. Now, I don't see GW removing that uniqueness from, like, say, Space Wolves, you know, or Scars. You know, they have their own unique. What I do love is the fact that GW not only do they what do you call it? They shine a spotlight on the Space Wolves and these specialty chapters, but they also gave a little extra to, like, the Imperial Fists, you know, Crimson Fist, you know, and all these other chapters that have been known as vanilla, who've had really nothing. And I'm like, okay, this is impressive. So I'm trying to understand how people think that we're regressing. I like what I have. I really do. I'm pretty happy with the fact that we are at least have, you know, the Codex or the Codex supplement for the Imperial Fist is dead on. They are siege masters, you know. They will peg you through a wall, you know, and it makes it more of a fun, realistic game. It identifies the army, you know, and I feel that that's what it's done. And I'm not quite sure, you know, where they're getting that sentiment or that expectation.
I agree. These Codex supplements, I feel like, are giving more flavor to the individual chapter than there's ever been before. And Gamecraft Dragon agrees with us. The chapters were the same. They were just naming difference before then. They're definitely not the same anymore. It all goes back to people wanting to hate on Primaris. I think that's it.
Yeah.
And you know, even even we know that there weren't the individual rules really, other than your chapter tactics back in 7th, right? There weren't really individual rules for the different ones. But even if you look at the beginning of 8th, I feel like even more so, all Space Marine armies at the beginning of 8th felt like you had to be a gun line.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Even
including the Space Wolves. Remember?
Yeah, and I was very mad about that one. It's like, we have melee units, but for their effectiveness at the beginning of 8th, I felt like I was being forced to add. In fact, I used to run pure melee wolves in 7th edition. Pure melee.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit of cover fire, but the majority of my list, over 90%, was always melee. Whether it was cavalry, it's my 6 cavalry, 2 squads of wolfen, blood claws running in. I had just an almost all melee list. Yep. And then I would bring like my dreadnoughts were melee. And then I would bring you a couple things, for a little cover fire. And that was it. And now it was like, as we played the beginning of 8th edition, I had to learn to balance my list more and add more and more.
I remember how upset you got because you're like, oh crap, now I got to figure out how to actually, it doesn't, you would say, it wasn't cost effective to run a melee army, since now their buffs are more for gun line, but you seem to kind of make it work with the balance between the two. And
I think learning to balance them has prepared me to play White Scars now.
Yeah.
Because you've seen I do have a fair bit of shooting in my scars, but I also try and rush towards the enemy as fast as possible. So I think that in between period has helped me now. Now I can go back to doing almost full melee wolves because of between Psychic Awakening, our own Codex gave us some buffs. Definitely when they introduced Shock Assault, all that really helped.
Right.
So I feel like now I can play melee wolves if I want to. So I think now more than before, my wolves definitely have their own flavor. Now, I understand what some people are saying, like, making everybody take the same units and how I'm sure part of it is hurt feelings because people thought that whenever their individual supplement came out, they were going to get some chapter specific units, right?
Right.
Can Dark Angels get some special Primaris? Can Blood Angels get some special Primaris? I know Space Wolves, when the Prophecy of the Wolf was coming out, a lot of people expected to be a very Space Wolf only Primaris unit.
Right.
Which, again, I don't think that was ever the intent of these boxes. I think it's to sell Primaris to as many people who will carry away a box as possible. So.
Right.
You heard the same complaints when WoW streamlined its rules during Cataclysm. You're right. Simpler rules. All armies are simpler. Are similar. That's a good point. And streamlining the rules did do a number on melee. Oh, I definitely complained about that a lot. I definitely missed my melee. By the way, Modeling for Advantage being awesome there in the chat. I want to take a moment to shout them. Take a break from, and this is not even our salt. I'm bringing up other people's salt right now. I want to take a break from the salt for a minute and throw a quick shout out for Modeling for Advantage. I know we've plugged them several times before, so everybody in this chat has probably subscribed to them. But man, they put out a really fun 40K battle report today that honestly did not go the way I thought it would. So, it's a pretty good twist in there. And on top of that, they've been doing a new format with these weekly updates. And I really like their weekly channel updates. That they've been really fun formatted. And even with this, each of us staying in our own houses doing social distancing, they managed to get multiple parts of these teams in on the weekly update. It's really fun. It's a really fun take on the weekly update, and it's definitely, not just one person sitting in a chair giving you just a straight update. I mean, they mix it all in. They have funny parts, they have amazing art and project updates to show you. They have very informative parts, and you do get to see what they're working on, and it's all just really well done. Go check out the channel. Make sure you're subscribing and click that bell button so you know when they're doing one of their weekly updates. Anyways. So again, big fan of their channel. I want Chainsaw Intercessors for me to start Space Wolves. Is that a wolf? All right. um, I think when we were talking, I'm not really sure. You were talking about something, and Garrett said, "You can at me, freak." I'm not sure what you were calling him out on, but you called him out on something.
On what?
I can't type on mobile. Yes, wolves. I just making sure, man. I'm just making sure. So yeah, I definitely agree. And then on top of that, so this is the other problem I have with that. When they give us something nice, sometimes just take the nice things.
Right.
Be appreciative when we do get something nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Did we get the exact same doctrines that all the other Marine chapters did? Yes. But you know what? Those doctrines are badass, okay?
Yeah.
Having your Bjorn be able to shoot with an AP4 las cannon turn 1, that's pretty awesome.
That's pretty gnarly.
Then, actually having the extra AP, you know what? Actually having tactical doctrine on your bolters now actually makes Grey Hunters infinitely more useful than they were before. Like, I almost have a reason to take tactical Marines again, right?
Yeah, but you don't believe in 0 AP weapons, so I don't want to hear it.
But the tactical doctrine makes it an AP1.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
See, that's what I'm saying. The doctrine actually is good.
Yeah,
and then if I upgrade to an intercessor, and I've already got -1,
right.
That makes in the tactical doctrine Space Wolves have, a AP2, So it could be useful, man. I'm just saying. Like these doctrines, are they the same as everyone else's? Yes, but are we weaker than the other Space Marines now? No, I think it's a very healthy. Well, I mean, unless we're talking about Imperial Fists or Iron Hands, but in general, are we weaker than other Space Marines now? Not really.
Wow.
I'm just saying, man. We can't do 300 mortal wounds turn 1 with Centurions. That's not something we can do. Sad part about Saga of the Beast, it's really an orc box. Yeah, you're right. It is definitely mostly an orc box. It's funny. Out of all of Prophecy of the Wolf, I think it's a great box, by the way. I have said this before. But the thing about Prophecy of the Wolf, I only want one thing out of that for my wolves. I think the Incursors would go great in my White Scars. I don't feel like they're a very wolfy unit at all. I think they go great in my White Scars, though. And then I'm just now starting up orcs. So it seems like a very, overall, good box set for me. I want to mention this. I am known as a salty individual on our live streams, right? So I want to make sure I talk about that box real quick. I had somebody quote me the other day saying that because I put a lot of hate to the box, I made them hate the box, and I made them sour about it. And I just want to bring up, I've always said the box is a good box. The box is just not wolfy at all, and it's disappointing for a Space Wolf themed box. But those Incursors are useful for, in my opinion, something other than Space Wolves. And the Ragnar is amazing. And the Orcs, it is an Orc box. It's a fantastic Orc box. As someone interested in Orcs, I think the box overall is pretty great. Nah, just the past 20 minutes, salty? No way. Actually, okay, I don't want to take heat for this. I was pointing out how some other people were feeling salty and saying that all Marines should be under one umbrella, or GW was driving to that point.
This is true.
But Freak and I were actually just discussing that we don't feel like that. We feel like GW has done a great job adding individual flavor to each of the Space Marine forces.
We were upset at first, because they were like, okay, everybody has the same rules. Everybody is vanilla. And I'm like, oh, wow. Even in Space Wolves? I was mad for
the chapters
Mythos.
were just colors on the armor before.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, well, just really, let's just paint them all one color and just.
This level of individualism is amazing, and in fact, I love that they've taken that even to the next step and said, design your own successor chapter. I think that's amazing.
Yep.
And the rules to it, it's not like the last year rule of design your own Land Raider, where it's only good for campaign mode play. It's actually like tournament legal to design your own sub faction and pick what what warlord traits you want, what chapter tactics you want. I mean, you're literally designing your own Space Marine chapter. That's that's I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Garrett. But yeah, that's so much individual flavor. They are encouraging a lot more customization than ever before. I was mentioning everybody got the upgrades to the doctrines and everything, and Garrett said everyone except Grey Knights, apparently, until recently. True. Although they got hit last, they were the last to get toys, or one of the last to get new toys. But when they did, at least they got the most customization. Like, they actually got the most unique doctrines and the most unique, abilities out of all this. So I like that they added their flavor back in, and a lot of people say they're way more usable now than ever before. So, well, not ever before, but after all these nerfs. All the storm bolters on the Terminators is pretty fun, and I've seen that change a lot of games where people use that Terminator armor to teleport behind enemy lines, drop in and use those storm bolters with bolter discipline, 4 shots apiece, and just mow down. Of course, they're usually it's in the tactical doctrine, so the storm bolters actually have some AP, and mowing down something like I've seen just a whole coming in the tactical and using it to mow down entire mobs of orcs. I mean, pretty cool. They're actually decent now with Ritual of the Damned. Yeah, a lot of people are enjoying the new buffs to Grey Knights. Garrett says, yeah, I just had to sit here salty for 4 months.
You right.
Yes, Zane. I know you say 0 AP, they still kill tanks. And by the way, I didn't get it earlier because we moved on to another topic. But Zane has said that he has killed a knight and 2 armigers with just bolters before, Volume of Fire. I find that hard to believe, but I trust the man. But it is still a very unlikely scenario. And
well, it's unlikely on us for people that roll 1s most of the time. So,
I mean, you can show me the list all day, but unless I actually see the game where you do it, it's still hard to believe for me.
Mythos, you're calling him out, bro.
No, I'm not saying
you didn't see it, didn't happen.
That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying I find the scenario hard to believe, but I believe that, I definitely believe my boy's telling the truth.
Yeah.
However, I just feel like the scenario itself is hard to believe in.
I think that might have been like a one-in-a-lifetime thing, or maybe, it definitely had been the perfect storm, where he had that opportunity to do that. So.
240 shots against a knight.
That's some rolling, bro. I'm serious. That's some hot rolling.
I mean, being that you can only, it still seems unlikely because you could only be wounding those knights on 6s.
This is true.
Anyways, it seems like a tall tale, but I believe you, brother. I believe you because put everything into the center to troll knight players. And you weren't playing Imperial Guard. Best thing about Grey Knights, so
okay,
easy
I'm
to
done.
paint.
I'm done. Yeah, he lost my credibility.
I said the exact same thing earlier, Kaiser. Kaiser said the best thing about Grey Knights is they're so easy to paint, and you only get about 3 models in a 2K list, so you're done in a weekend. I said the exact same thing earlier. I'm like, I could start a Grey Knights force. I mean, it's only like 5 models to paint.
Wow.
Hey, no joke, man. Grey Knights are expansive. All right. So that, by the way, the channel that first got my attention that the Facebook group was closing was BFS Wargaming, and their video was called "Should Space Marines Be All in One Group?" So that's what directed me to the group closing, and then I got to see some of the comments exchanged with the group closing, and then of course I got to see what some of the other people were talking about on the Facebooks and stuff like that. So it's interesting how much chatter came out with seeing this group close. But I mean, again, seeing that I can understand where people thought they were getting a bunch of unique stuff. They felt steamrolled, and I can even especially see it with people seeing that Death Watch literally got nothing. They got literally nothing new or specific. They only got what was in the vanilla.
Right.
And that was just stratagems and stuff like that. They still don't have all of the data sheets that vanilla Space Marine players have. They still don't have the Shadows or the Vanguard units. They still don't have access to the Executioner. So it's like these guys, the most elite of all Space Marines who get drafted for this, you know, they who allegedly have the newest toys don't get the newest toy, the Executioner.
Hey, just a side note, I'm just curious from the chat, how do you guys like this particular format? It's not something we're going to do all the time. It's just, I told Mythos, I need to get some painting done, and I've had a really rough week, like always. This week has been absolutely ridiculous, and I'm like, you know what? It'll be a lot of fun just to get together and do some painting, you know, and you get to see the bow tie. I'm wearing a tie, guys. I'm doing it. So let me know what you think.
Zane says he had just bought 110 Marines off the internet when the rule came out and decided why not. He still couldn't kill the Castellan or the other armigers. Garrett says, I mean, the bow tie is a plus. He also says, and when I was talking about how easy Grey Knights are to paint, he said, and mine still are unpainted. Man, I keep telling you, when this is all over, man, why don't you bring them over to a card night one night? We'll get some lead belcher spray, we'll get some Null out, and we can have a good dent made in your Grey Knights in just a card night, man.
So stupid.
Weatherpig says, it's been interesting to step back from wargaming and just focus on painting and watching how much Warhammer and GW have changed over the last 10 years. Yeah, you've definitely moved into being an artiste, my brother. It's definitely not just about gaming for you. Or not about gaming for you. Although I did see a sneak peek at a Space Marine bike on your channel recently. Oh, that's another one I want to give a quick shout out to. Like he's not on our channel every other weekend.
Oh my gosh, he's famous, dude. Everybody loves him.
But Weatherpig Model Painting, by the way, has taken his first foray into live streaming. So, you know, you can check that out. And while I'm throwing out friends who have started live streaming, one of the channels I plugged recently, the Pickle Jar, started getting into live streaming. Another entertaining and fun to watch person doing live streaming. In fact, lots of people. That's another topic I brought up. I wanted to bring up during chat is so many people live streaming now, more than before, of course, because a lot of us are at home, right? A lot of people are doing the home thing, and a lot of schools are doing, you know, school through Zoom meetings. A lot of businesses are doing Zoom meetings. So web conferencing has become part of the way of life for right now, right? With that, the cameras that we use, like the Logitech C920 or 922, those camera prices have shot way up. Webcams in general shot way up. And my brother, the Pickle Jar, today was saying you can't even find a webcam anywhere in the stores in the UK right now.
Really?
Or at least on this end of the UK.
Really? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, because everyone's using them. You know, everyone's using them for school, for work, you know, and not just school and work, but of course you'll notice there are just more content creators out there now too.
Right.
You know, there are more Twitchers now. There's more people here on YouTube. You know, Mixer's becoming a big thing. You know, so it's just all with higher demand. Of course, the price of webcams has gone up. The one we use now, which our amazing patrons helped us get last year, was only $70 at the time.
That's right.
And its stand I got for $15. And now after the outbreak, we went back and, you know, our Amazon links below, we try to show people what cameras we're using and stuff like that. And the webcam that we use, the exact same one, is like $200 now.
You're
You know,
kidding me,
it's
dude.
crazy. I mean, that's 3 times the price that it was before. But again, the demand is so high because everyone's using webcams now. The stand I got for $15 was $30 now. You know, so again, that's double the price it was before. So it's crazy to see such high demand, and of course, you know, supply demand ratio goes up. So Mixer is another streaming service where you can watch people do stuff. It's very popular on Instagram, and it's it's Microsoft's, I believe. Yeah. So. I said it's a Mixer is becoming popular. Garrett says, "Well, it's popular with anyone who's already watching Mixer, anyways." Once Shroud joined, everyone pretty much flocked to him. Yeah, and Ninja, who we saw on Masked Singer, Microsoft offered him a boatload of money to switch over from, I think, Twitch to Mixer. 10 millis.
Benji.
Modeling for Advantage says, so good, I never even heard it. Well, it's more popular amongst video game players than anything. People who stream video games. Talking about Grey Knights. Archer says, Black Prime, Vallejo Metal Gun Base, Layer, Grey Knights, Layer Steel, Gilliman Blue Glaze. Boom. Easy peasy. Garrett says, my blood alcohol level remains too high for any decent attempts at painting. Like I said, man, you come over one night for a card night, we'll help you make a sizable dent in your army. and I know he's sitting right there with you, man. Go over to Brother Ethan's desk and nudge him a little bit to dig out those Imperial Guard, man. I help all of you, man. Anything I can do to encourage you guys back on the table. You guys have no idea how happy that would make my soul.
Mythos has a big soul.
Let's see. Let's see. Well, Modeling for Advantage says, I mean, I would switch over to Mixer if Bill G gave me 10 million. You right. In fact, he could come on over here and sponsor the Frost and Fist too.
Oh yeah.
Come on, Bill Gates. We will definitely sing your praises.
You got that.
Weather Pig says he got a lot of money, but then he went from half the internet hating him for most of it. This is true, but you know what? For 10 million, people can hate me.
Yeah, haters gonna hate, baby.
I may have this deep psychological issue where people must like Mythos. However, I think
You can get over it, can you?
10 millions would do a lot to console me.
Yeah. Mythos, you're sad. Here's 10 mil. I'm okay.
Talking about the high demand for webcams, Flight of the Phoenix says a lot of our real estate consultations. By the way, she's in real estate. I'm not sure if you are aware of that.
I would.
She said that a lot of their real estate consultation showings and even open houses are all being done via Zoom now.
Yeah. Since I work at the hospital, a lot of our staff, mainly our administrative staff, have been doing a lot more Skype for Business interviews and things like that. So it's just been really tasking.
True. I know setting people up for that kind of thing is definitely probably not easy on your end.
No. How do I Skype? Oh God, I dread that. See that big round button?
To Lady Dragon.
Press it.
She says, despite being drunk, she finished the lava tile. It's a 2x2, and she finished it. Congratulations.
Who's drunk? Lady Dragon's drunk?
Lady Dragon, yeah.
Oh, what are you drinking, Lady Dragon?
Restless Kaiser says, frankly, Bill Gates can do anything he wants to him and film it for 10 million. You right? I'm on that same train. I am on that same train.
Yes.
I'll oil myself up for you.
What's dial pad?
It's hard to explain, but I have to do some real estate work in my health job. Interesting, very interesting.
Yep.
Zane says agreed modeling, but I'd do it for $5. I'd do it for $5, but 10 mil doesn't seem too bad either. And then Zane says $5. That is. It's not even Skype anymore. It's Microsoft Teams. Yeah, my company's moved over to Microsoft Teams too, which annoys me very greatly.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Teams. I don't like it. We're still using Skype for.
I mean, unless Billy G's trying to sponsor, then I love Teams. Teams is amazing.
Stupid.
Freak, I'm starting to build my Armies on Parade display board. Just finished a 2x2 tile lava based from the realm of fire for AOS.
Oh,
very nice.
Very cool. Yeah. Okay, so pretty excited about how this is turning out because you guys know one of my biggest pet peeves of these Primaris, especially the intercessors or any other, are these guys. Yeah. So, I don't know whose bright idea it was to issue, bolters with with scopes that would, hit the darn that would oversee the iron sight. So I just cut the iron sight off. So yeah, I think it turned out to be a lot better, a little more realistic. Oh yeah.
By the way, the Commodore sent me a picture. He cut off his iron sights too. Solidarity, brother. Solidarity.
Yes, because it makes sense. I mean, gun. Yeah, you get it. You get it.
I want to talk about that for a minute. By the way, been talking to our brother Commodore, and we are going to have us a Smash Captain in the chat one of these weeks. That's going to be amazing.
That'd be fun.
And he mentioned that he's looking forward to working with Freak because then the two Imperial Fists can gang up on the Wolf Brother here and talk about how talk smack about Space Wolves.
It'd be double fisting.
Which, even then, Commodore seems like a great guy. I'm looking forward to working with him. But something that's come to my attention is the last couple people we've worked with have all said to me that I'm looking forward to working with Freak. I'm starting to feel like the friend in high school that girls say, hey, could you ask your friend out for me? I'm starting to feel like that guy. Like, oh, could you tell your friend he's so cute? Oh.
Bow tie.
Just saying.
Next week you got to get your bow tie, Mythos.
Commodore says the sons of Dorne stand together.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they do.
She's drinking amaretto and 7-Up, brother.
Wow. Yeah, that'll get you there quick, won't it? That'll get you there real quick. Because you don't even realize it's happening.
Oh, now even Brother Roxas says, can you ask Freak out for me, Mythos? I knew it! I knew it!
God dang it. Oh my god. No, this is more like Rick and Morty. And Morty's always trying to get, was her name Jessica? The girl at the school? And old Grandpa Rick always seems to kind of mess things up.
Yep.
I'm Grandpa Rick.
God, I love Rick and Morty.
Dude, that show's ridiculous.
Gamecraft Dragon says, don't worry, Mythos. As my wolf brother, we can double team those canary boys. Zane says, Combi, will you wear a low-cut shirt just for me? Phoenix says, I'll put him in my corset for you, Zane. Then she says, just kidding, it'll be for me. Roxas says, my name is Roxas and I will betray you. That's fair. That's fair. I knew that going into this. Oh, airbrushing tip. I'm so squirrel. Airbrushing tip. If you guys have any of these little clamps that you can get like $5 for $1 at the dollar store, they are so good when I'm airbrushing because I tend to pin a lot of stuff that I'm airbrushing, and then whenever I prime something or paint it and want to sit it down while it's wet, I just clamp it to the edge of my desk and it holds the.
He clamps it. What?
It holds the paper clip out to dry, without anything touching it. Are those nipple clamps? Yes. $5 for $1 nipple clamps that you can get at the dollar store. We have deals on weird things here in America.
Yeah.
If you go to the dollar store here in America, you can get your nipple clamps.
Yeah.
$5 for $1.
Much.
You've only got 2 nipples, so the rest is for a party.
God. What the hell is happening to this?
Zane says any clamp's a nipple clamp if you want it to be.
He's right. There's truth to that.
That reminds me of how our group would be. Is that a nipple clamp? Of course it's not a nipple clamp. Not with that attitude.
You can be a nipple clamp if you want it to be. We don't judge.
Ain't no party like a nipple clamp party. We've gone into the strange section of the internet now.
Yeah, we went there. We dove deep into the recesses.
One person has to go half clamped. It's also because it's inclusive, Roxas.
Why half? Why?
Right?
That's disturbing. Why half? I don't understand. Oh, this is looking so good. Oh my god.
Crabs work well as a nipple clamp if you make them angry enough, Zane says. We're going into some strange kinks here.
What?
I mean, see my above comment. Garrett says you can make anything a nipple clamp if you're brave enough. You've got to walk the fine line between bravery and something else. See, this is why people come to this hobby channel. Because at a hobby channel, you find nonstop nipple content, I guess.
That's right. We cover all aspects here in the show.
Brian says, I just walked into the room and heard that we are in the strange section. What did I miss?
You sure you want to know?
I was being very innocent, Brian. I was getting the airbrushing tip.
You're going to put the "they corrupt me" deal on us? Nah, bro.
I pin the things I airbrush, and then while it's wet to let it dry, I clamp them to the edge of my desk, right? And it suggested that I'm using nipple clamps. After I just explained that you can get these clamps for $5 for $1 at the dollar store. So then we ended up in a topic of why there are 5 nipple clamps in one pack. And that's how we got to this section of the internet, Brian. Welcome back. Commodore, we would love to have you on our live chat. Nah, I'm good.
Yep, got weird for him too. Don't blame me, bro. Don't blame me at all.
Garrett says, don't kink shame. Don't kink shame him unless kink shaming is your kink, I guess. Such an inspiring stream tonight. I know we end up in weird parts of the internet. I'm sorry. Nice, a whips and chains moment. See that
got a little weird.
Sometimes these chats, the comment section takes on a life of its own.
Yeah, they just run away. You know, like
Kaiser said you could just label your video nonstop nipple comment and watch your view count roll. Dude, our last video got 3 million views. How did that happen?
yeah. And how we wound
Change up
up,
the hashtag.
and we wound up in a lot of BDSM videos. I don't understand how we wound up coupled with that. Recommended BDSM? What? Oh. Is our videos recommended for BDSM?
Roxas uses air quotes for when I said we're sorry. Yeah, we don't get here on purpose. We just get here.
Go balls to the walls here, baby.
Which is just colloquialism. That is not another use for the clamps. Just so everyone knows. I don't know if that was in question before, but I just wanted to make it clear. Gamecraft Dragon says my new successor champer is the electric clamper. See, now we're getting it hobby related.
Oh my god.
Freak wouldn't even have to change his name if we made that our channel focus.
Nope. Nope. That goes right into it, you know.
Wait a minute. Heinrich says, by the way, congrats on 700.
What? We made
700?
Nobody tells me these things.
Check this out.
What?
Holy crap. Apparently the nipple clamps did it. Oh my god.
Wow.
Guys, we just reached 700 subs.
Wow.
You guys
Holy
are
crap.
amazing.
Ain't
Thank you
that
guys
something?
so much.
All because of the nipple clamps.
Oh my god.
Frost and Fist brought to you by nipple clamps.
That's it. Dane, that's not even a good joke, man. The slides on handguns are definitely, nobody wants to clamp that. That's
No, dude, I've nipped my thumb many times on that thing, dude.
Yep. That webbing, that bit of skin between your index finger and your thumb.
No me gusta.
I think the last time I went with you, most of us have done that at some point.
Yep.
But man, the last time I took Darian to the range, got a nice chunk of meat out of the skin between his thumb and forefinger.
Yep, everybody gets one.
Yeah, I don't wish that kind of clamping on anyone.
Mm-mm.
That's why I call it extreme, says Zane. It's extreme, all right.
A little bit, man.
Oh my gosh! So we're going to do an official giveaway, guys, where people will be able to win one. But just in case people were missing it earlier, for our 700 subs,
Wow.
Keep an eye out for the giveaway video.
Mythos.
Put one of these sexy new Frost and Fish shirts, and
maybe we can
throw
sell
something like a coffee cup there.
Yeah, maybe we can sell some clamps on there too. Throw some clamps on there at their on our merch store.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kaiser. He says, so I just subbed for my my work Google Classroom account. Pick the best show to sub from a work account. I mean,
Wow. Wow.
We're safe for work, right? It's a classroom.
All right, class, get
We
your
are
books
definitely
out.
safe
Today
for
we're
work
gonna.
content, right, guys?
Yep.
Frost and Fist, now FSW. By the way, the now puts an N in front for some reason. That changes our rating. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Heinrich Botha says the Frost and Fist clamps.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They're ignoring me. All right.
Sorry, man. I don't know if it's translating loud on y'all's end, but this compressor is a little bit loud.
That's what you're going with? All right, then.
What?
What?
What? You know I would never ignore you.
Uh-huh. What?
So in lieu of actually doing any skillful painting tonight, I've taken to just priming all these amazing orcs. So
I am absolutely loving this.
let's see. I had a video of me looking at a real tank posted on Reddit. My most viewed video might soon be non-miniature related. That's pretty awesome.
Hey, stuff like this happens, bro.
So what's in that pile of shame back there, Mythos? It is quite a pile of shame. Now, for for all safe for work reasons, because I have primer on this hand, I have to do all this one-handed. But I have a lot of stuff here. So I have an Orc Defcopta, recently shipped. I have 10 Sluggaboys here. It's for some Malay goodness. I have an Orc Pain Boy here. Classic metal sculpt. I have 5 recently completed Assault Marines. I have Lily's, 2 of Lily's original Necrons from when she was playing. These are the last 2 models of hers that are still around. And then she decided that 40K was not for her, but I wanted something that my lovely lady painted up. So I have a couple of those.
I didn't know she painted those, dude.
Oh yeah. We a while back another channel was doing, he was teaching 40K to kids, including his little girl. And we donated a box of Frost and Fist goods over across the, to the UK, so that way he could teach kids he worked with 40K. So we ended up donating all her Necron stuff, but I kept 2 just to have something Lily painted. I have a half-painted attack bike here. I have a primed and shaded and highlighted 2 more attack bikes here. I have 2 assassins here. My Eversor, which I cannot wait to take into a battle. And my Vindicare. I have 3 Tau Crisis suits that are half finished. Oh, that's something I forgot to mention during Art of the Week. Is I put some more color on these guys, got their lenses done, got their guns painted, and their shoulder pads, and I think that yellow pops a little bit. I'm trying to figure out what else I want to do to add a little color to them, though. I don't want to go too far off scheme, but I want something to be on there.
Very nice.
The only thing is that I've already painted up more than half the army now in a color scheme from before I got where I am with the airbrush. So now the color, I want to keep it matching, but now the colors are flatter than my current paint. You guys, it's always the way, right, guys? As you're painting through an army, your skill keeps evolving and you get better at painting, but then your choices are either to paint half of the army better than the first half, or to continue painting that half of the rest of that particular army to your not as evolved paint scheme. So, that's how it goes. I have mine and Darklight Dreamers D&D characters. I have some scout bikes, 5 Age of Sigmarines, my Honored Dragoon Crawler, and my Jump Pack Priests. So lots of stuff on my pile of shame there, although some of it's painted. Have a great night, Kaiser, my man.
Good night, bud.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and thank you for helping us smash 700.
That was really nice, dude. Thank you so much. That was really nice. Totally unexpected, actually.
Let's see, both hands on the desk. Take off the clamps. Oh, like I said, it's just primer on this hand. I didn't want to touch the models with primer on my hand. I wish my dealer would. I could meet up with my dealer due to Corona.
Hey man, you do you, bro.
Need to find someone to mail it to you. My hero. Shut up. What are you, a cop or something? I mean, if the FBI's involved, I get more views, right? Who do we have in the chat that one time? The CIA, right?
Yes, yeah, it was no. That was the oh god, NSF. They were the ones listening on. Remember Johnson and all that.
Oh man,
Johnson, go get me a cup of coffee. But sir, you don't drink coffee. Just get my coffee. Comes back.
And the Smash Captain. I'm not sure how extreme things got, but I'm sure something happened.
It always gets extreme around here. Okay, yeah, that, we're not encouraging that.
See, with Zane, banning is just more of a formality, saying, "Okay, that was the line." In a really talented display, we were in Weather Pig's chat the other night, and I saw Zane juggling like 5 or 6 accounts all at once. It was pretty impressive.
Well, that is impressive.
That is not flow improvement. That is. "70 views, Zane." I'm glad I'm not the only one who has to deal with Zane in a live chat.
Why? Who else?
Oh, Commodore, you know, Commodore being the Smash Captain for the Gamecraft Dragons.
Oh yeah, he's got to moderate that.
Yep.
Yeah. You definitely keep him busy.
Oh, this is, don't worry, Garrett, this is normal. Zane sometimes juggles 5 or 6 accounts all at once. In fact, during Weather Pig's chat, every time he would jump topics about a new tank, either the new tank or the tank's designer, or sometimes both, would hop in the chat.
Right, exactly.
He's quite fast at building the new profiles.
Oh man, he is really quick.
In fact, one tank that Weather Pig was, mentioning about not being his favorite, the tank joined the chat, and then the tank's designer joined the chat, and then the tank said something like, "Daddy, they're picking on me." One of those conversations you got to wonder, have I had enough to drink for this?
And if not, say, damn it, give me a drink. God.
Oh yeah, and all the personalities don't always.
Yep. You thought MPS was bad?
Oh, something. I don't know if you were aware, Freak, but they are coming out with a 40K FPS allegedly, which
What?
sounds like a really cool thing, right?
Really?
I would love to play a first-person shooter 40K.
I would too. I think that'd be pretty freaking epic.
The downside is that it's for mobile only.
What? Oh no.
That doesn't sound like a good time.
Well, you know, they tried doing that. They had Regicide, that they did it for mobile mostly. Was that chess game?
Right?
Didn't really take off.
I want a full-blown, like, Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, blockbuster FPS.
Oh, that would be epic, bro. Oh, you're talking.
And then Spud got to talking about it during one of his live streams. And, you know, that would be epic to have a first-person shooter, full-blown, 40K. That would be amazing. I'd even pick one, as much as I would love another Space Marine one, you know, I would take one where, you know, you're a weaker Imperial Guard starting off with nothing but a las gun, you know? That would be an amazing first-person shooter. Imperial Guard, Call of Duty engine, I'd be down for that. I mean, Space Hulk Deathwing, yes, but...
It's really one-sided. I got bored with it.
It's so...
I got bored with
unresponsive.
it. Yeah, I got bored with it.
Yeah, just if the controls weren't so janky, I'd be more into it. I want a successful, well-working FPS. You just described Deathwing, which tanked. I think it was the execution of Deathwing that made it tank, though. It's just so janky. Also, I mean, it's fun to play, but it's a little unresponsive. Controlling the camera is a little bit of a burden. And unfortunately, it's so unnecessarily difficult, too. Why don't they have options on there? Difficulty options. You know, I signed up to smash Tyranids in the face. I didn't sign up to play Dark Souls. You know, Doom, Space Marines. And okay, this was cool. So this is some things I was thinking about the other day of how to what engines would make really good 40K shooters. Roxas just mentioned the new Doom, but Space Marine style.
Oh my gosh.
That would be amazing, right?
That would be epic.
Now think of this. I thought of the other day, what if you had an orc-based first-person shooter on the Borderlands engine?
Oh, see, that would be great.
That would be so fun.
Yeah.
And I think the art style and just the randomness of how things happen in Borderlands would fit orcs perfectly. I think it would be good times. You know, it's crazy. Like, I liked the paint job that my brother had on these orcs before, but then I screwed up with the Averland Sunset, and I didn't like the way my yellow was coming out. But now that I've stripped them and started priming them, I don't know. I feel more into them. Like, the orcs are, you know, mine. I'm putting my stamp on them.
Well, yeah.
Even though I really put my stamp on them when I screwed them up with Averland Sunset. But
It's all about, bro.
Garrett says, I made it to the 4th level, and I think I haven't touched it since. I made it to like the 2nd level, and I just kept dying.
I made it the 3rd. Yeah, I kept dying too. I'm not all about the dying crap, you know.
And
I
you know,
like a challenge, but damn, come on, man.
A lot of people like that, you know, where they die repeatedly, and you know they figure out how best to approach each new area. And I know you yourselves, you're a Dark Souls fan, Brother Garrett, and that you love figuring out how you're gonna kill the next thing or whatever. And I'm not all about that multi-dying life. Like, And yeah, we joke about this on the show from time to time about how Mythos must immediately be good at something. And to a degree, that's kind of true. But like, I just don't like the feeling of just ramming my head into a wall over and over and over again and not getting better. So I don't know. I
Don't
like
get
the
me
game
wrong.
itself seems interesting to me, and I want to go back at some point, but I don't want to suck all the time.
Yeah, I think the
Wow.
graphics was really good on the game, and you know, it was good. It was pretty good gameplay. It's just, it was almost repetitive, and I just got bored. Like, okay, I'm done. I'm doing the edge highlighting on this guy right now.
Very nice.
And I got to work on flossing him, and then I'm gonna do the wash.
So have you started on your 1,000 point list for Tabletop Simulator yet?
I started working on it. I haven't completed it yet.
1,000 is what we said, right?
Yes, 1,000. Yeah.
I got it close, but then I was like, if he brings any armor, I don't know if I have enough armor punch here, so I might go back and adjust it a little bit.
I gotta actually pull those models into my my little repository there.
Mini war hunt. Oh man, you actually ran with the joke. Let's see. Maybe a successor to Space Marine from the 360 PS3. I loved Space Marine. Space Marine is my favorite 40K game ever. Imperial Guard versus Tyranids survival horror game. Yes, please. That would be amazing. Can you imagine evil or even a Silent Hill freak that's Tyranid themed?
Oh man, yeah.
Oh,
Like a lone Space Marine going through that. Ooh.
Yeah. Oh my God. Have you ever played PT? The playable trailer for the last Silent Hill that was
No, I
ever
haven't
done?
played that. No, I've seen the
Let's Play of it?
Yeah.
Okay, imagine that level of
Oh my god.
horror, walking through hallways and stuff like that, looking for Tyranids that might be eating your face.
Oh man. That's just creepy, dude.
Mini war butt. You got beef or something?
I love beef.
I mean, I can beat Dark Souls 3 in less than 2.5 hours. I might have a problem. That's awesome. And Wolfwraith says, sounds like me with Bloodborne. See, and actually, I don't like those kind of games, but oh man, I love the aesthetic for Bloodborne. In fact, for someone who doesn't play hard games, the fact that I've gone in and beaten the first boss for Bloodborne just because I love the art style and the aesthetic and the atmosphere of Bloodborne. Oh man, I love everything about Bloodborne except, the constant dying.
the dying and the screaming.
The dying is a little bit of a
That's a byproduct, you know that, right?
Yeah. I think I may have made an uh-oh.
Clean it!
I think I may have made an uh-oh.
Clean it!
No, not something I can clean.
Oh.
Where did I set this down? So my Death Copter's in 3 parts: the main body, the arms, and I'm sorry, 4 parts: the rotor and the head.
The rooter.
And
Don't call me names.
I don't know what I did with the head to this Death Copter pilot. Well, being an orc, I'm sure I can kit bash an orky head on.
You're an orc master. You are now an orc. Do the orky thing, bro.
Kit bashing's never a problem for an orc. And you know, I've heard a lot of people say that that's the best thing about doing orcs is the level of creative freedom you get with orcs.
A lot of freedom.
Kit bash this, loot that. I mean, there's just so many options, right? You literally just described the first 2 AVP games. Oh yeah, AVP would definitely be a great Tyranid game. Well, you and Geary might have just become best friends, Wolf Wraith. I'm trying to decide if I want to take the pledge for Bloodborne or not. Do it. Do it. I don't even like these games, and I love Bloodborne. Do it. A hunter must hunt. In the waking world? Lily says, may you find your worth in the waking world.
Creepy.
Mythos, you must make a kill crusher if you're going Goths. That's awesome. What's a kill crusher? See, I'm just thinking of the AOS Orcs Maw Crusher, and I definitely want one of those. Pretty sure there's no 40k application for that, though. Zane said, I literally missed everything doing that. Did you have fun, though? Did you have fun? Juggling 2 is easier than 6. Really? I mean, I'm no math expert, but man, I would never have guessed that. It's a big tank. Okay. But see, Goths are all about the melee punch. So maybe you can help me understand, because, again, I'm a noob at orcs, how the big tank is going to be, especially if I play Goths. Is it for supporting fire for my Goths while the Goths get in combat? Explain to me what way this best helps the orcs, or the Goths. Because I is noob. I is noob. And that's how you know. When even the verbs are wrong, you know. Yes, as a support. Okay. Now help me out with that. Is covering fire effective for my Goths? Because the only ones that get rerolls to shoot are, of course, Bad Moons, which is why everybody loves them, right? And so Goths with shooting support. This is why I haven't even looked at things like Ludas or I can't even remember the other shooting ones. Flash kits or Ludas, because the Orc ballistic skill, hitting stuff on a 5 to hit. How is that? Help me understand how I'm going to make that work and
superior numbers, baby. Superior numbers.
I mean, I know that's the appeal of Ludas, is they're just throwing bucket loads of shots, and hoping that you'll get a few 5-ups. But it just seems like if I invest a lot of points into a big tank, like the Killa Crusher, if I have that correct, how am I going to make that tank work on a 5-up? It's a big boy tank that destroys stuff. It's a big Daka, that's all that matters. Fist, I hope you don't mind losing a lot of pieces. Oh, first, I hope you don't mind. I mean, orcs are just a Xenos Imperial Guard. Ludas seems scarier last edition. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people rely on Ludas now, looking at battle reports and stuff like that. I see Ludas in almost every orc battle report I watch, and not just a couple of them. I usually see like bucket loads. It's 6:14. Just here, just made some cereal, and I have a new product idea for you guys.
Uh-oh.
Frosted Fisty cereal. Very nice, very nice. Burnas. Okay, now see that I can on board with. I actually wish this big shooter I had was a Burna Boy instead, because I feel like the auto hit of a flamer would go really, really well with orcs. So I almost want to switch out all my heavy weapons in my squads with Burnas. And Garrett says, "Drown them in your blood."
What the? Damn.
You know, when you're just throwing bodies at people.
Oh yeah.
All right, so guys, I've been thinking of doing a 1,500 points Dreadnought army using Librarian Dreads and a bunch of others as a fun gimmick list. You can definitely do it because Space Wolves have so many specific dreads that I used to run very similar lists, and it's fun. Running a dread list is really fun. And you could even throw in, and I'm not sure if you're interested in painting up one of these, you could even throw in things like a Forge World Chaplain Dreadnought is another HQ choice, and they've got really good abilities. They've got great melee punch. Not that your Librarian Dread is lacking for any of that, but I mean, they're pretty awesome. Librarian Dread. I mean, and if you're doing Blood Angel rules so you can get the Librarian Dread, then the Furioso Dread is also a great option. And I mean, man, they are really good at punching some stuff. Steve-O swears by them. The tanks? I'm going to have to look into that. Again, I had just been thinking of what I want. You know, I have like the core of what I want to do with the boys, the Storm Boys, and the Mega Knobs going in, and I'm want to get Gazzy at some point. And I was thinking about my melee components, but the rest was like, I'll fill in the details later. So that might be a good detail to fill in with, you know. Daradeo's also very good dreads, and man, they do lots of, I mean, well, when you're rolling well, they do a lot of damage, and they have that nice in-bowl bubble. So yeah, Daradeo might be a good shout too. Looking good, brother. Looking good. Running to Daradeo, Zane. Very nice. No Burnas. Oh, okay. Steve-O swears by the Burnas, not the tank. Oh yeah, I remember him. I do remember him saying something about that. No, I definitely. And you know, it's funny because Steve-O plays Bad Moon, so at least he gets the rerolls. But I mean, especially, you know, going without the rerolls, I feel like I don't want to have to rely on Orc Ballistic skill if I can help it. They look a bit goofy but seem effective. I don't know. There's something kind of cool about the way the Daradeo looks different than the other dreads. And it looks more... I think it's because it's that forward, you know, it's got that forward bucket kind of look. It looks a little bit like some of the Mech Warrior dreads. So I think that's what I like about the way the Daradeo. I like the Leviathan. Everybody likes the Leviathan more. I mean, Leviathan is just a beast. It's badass. I think I only own one Leviathan right now, but I want one for all three of my Marine armies. I want an Ultramarine Leviathan. I want the White Scar specific one. You know, definitely want to do that. Man, this is the most primer I've ever put through my airbrush. I'm definitely going to have to spend some time really deep cleaning tonight.
You thin it down?
Huh?
You thin it down?
Of course. Dude, my Death Skull Orcs, you use everything, running 2 squads of 15 Slugger Boys, Shooter Boy, with big shooters, 2 squads of Gretchen, blob of 5 Burnas, 10 Ludas, and tons of vehicles so far. Yeah, I wanted to go the Speed Freaks route at first, but I really wanted to get in mostly some of that melee goodness that Goths are known for. and I really kind of like their culture in general, their clan culture abilities. So I want to hit stuff. Plus, I want to run a bunch of big mega knobs. I've always loved mega knobs ever since our brother Lars used to bring them to the store, and I felt like my cavalry were big bad boys in melee, and every single time they went up against his mega knobs, except one time, they died like dogs. Of course,
Ironic.
that 2-up save though was way more beastie back then than it is now. 7th edition. Back in that day, a 2-up save means you needed an AP2 weapon. In fact, we had this one game where it really hinged on me being able to kill the last Mega Knob, and all I had was cavalry with a chain sword, no AP, and just volume of hits. I managed to go in and strip away that last wound. But yeah, Lars really made me love his, Mega Knobs after fighting against his. They always look cool on the table. I thought they had the coolest looking orc models was the Mega Knobs, and they just seem so effective. And I'm like, I have to run. I always said if I ever get into orcs, I'm going to run some Mega Knobs. So now I've got 3, and if I get Prophecy of the Wolf, I'll have 6, and a nice big blob of 6 Mega Knobs seems fun. Have a great night, Weather Pig, my man. You and the doggo have a good walk. Mega Knobs are basically orc terminators. There's a reason they're so good. When a golf model rolls an unmodified 6 to hit, with attacking with a melee weapon, it gets a single bonus hit roll with the same weapon against its original target. That's why I like it. I love their clan culture. Back in the day, 2-up save still died to a D-scythe. Everything died to a D-scythe. You right. Eldar were king at the time for a reason. Those D-weapons. So yeah, I decided I wanted to go more heavy infantry than, because at first I wanted to go the speed freak side as well, but then I decided I wanted to go more towards the heavy armored kind of feel and the more melee punchiness. And that's why I'm going with a war boss on bike right now, so that way I can give my infantry the move forward buff. I know the speed freak stuff though, Death Killer War Trike only gives vehicles and bikes buff. So yeah, those D sides were pretty nasty. Man, we had some. I definitely felt like I had some good games though, trying to figure out how to get around the D sides. I know in the last couple, I think they beat me almost every time until that last time I finally killed them off. So 30 boys, 120 attacks, on average get 13 extra hits. Man, that's a lot of dice. Very cool.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm excited to run Goths. That melee punch is going to be cool. That number of orcs, I'm not excited to paint up, but, part of the process, right? And of course, it'll be interesting painting something new. I have little known fact, painted up an orc Necromunda gang before. That was fun for a friend back in the day. Another early Frost and Fist commission. Yeah, I plan on doing these orcs differently. Again, like I was mentioning about the cow, my painting style has evolved into more of an airbrushed kind of look, and I want to incorporate my new airbrush skills into the way I do these orcs. I still am not exactly sure how. Like, part of me wants to do the really awesome looking fleshy, pinky kind of undertones to them, like the way Spud from Chilling Wargamers, by the way, go check out Chilling Wargamers, does his orcs. It looks amazing, but he has mentioned that he's painted up, that the way he paints those up takes forever. How are your intercessors going, my brother?
You're good. Put a little wash on this one. My style of painting, I paint one at a time. I don't, I just enjoy it because I like to see the completion of one and I move on to the next one. So, but yeah, it's coming out pretty good, man. Doing a little wash.
So far, I have painted my bits for the Wolf Lord I'm working on.
Nice.
I've painted 10 Slugger Boys, 1 Big Shooter Boy, 1 Weird Boy as an HQ choice, and 1 Pain Boy. So now I officially have a patrol detachment primed up.
Nice.
There's a reason that in tournament play they made Orc Boys upgrade to 32 mils when you still had them on 25s. You could stack Orcs 4 deep on a target and still get melee attacks on them. Yeah. I'm thinking when I'm... Actually, I should probably do that now while they're primed before I paint them. But I'm definitely planning on, while I'm at the whole repainting stage, I might as well chop them off their bases and put them on 32 mils, put the legal base on them. And plus, taking them off the base will give me the opportunity to do something cool with the base. And you guys know, I may not be as good of a painter as many others, but I love to do cool basing because as long as my basing looks good, I can give the illusion that it's a relatively well-painted model, right? Or at least I can feel cool about doing some cool basing anyways.
You like that, huh? You like the water bases, huh? That's karma.
In this case, though, I've decided that I want to go with a jungle theme for my
Oh, that's different.
Yeah. So I might just do my normal cork rocks, especially since I've been refining that. I feel like the rocks now, like on this Wolf Lord here, and like I did for the 3-color challenge, I feel like my cork rocks now are the best looking cork rocks I've ever made.
Oh, dude, your rocks look amazing.
So I might do some more of those as the part for them to stand on and put the jungle around them. I was watching Luke's APS, his jungle basing, and they look pretty cool on slate, having some smooth black rocks coming out of the ground for them to stand on while the jungle sprouting around the black. That looked pretty cool. Although slate, I think, is not as easy to come by here in the States, so I don't know.
Slate? The actual rock?
The way you complimented my my rocks made Zane moist.
Oh, hey. You got hot rocks, baby.
And when I get really excited, they become pop rocks. Great candy, that pop rocks. So yeah, I'm thinking some pretty cool jungle bases will look good for these orcs to be jumping out of, and I think not only will upgrading my orcs to 32 millimeter bases, not only just make them more legal, but it'll also give me more room to work with while I'm trying to upgrade their basing.
Do that. All right.
Yeah, that's a little satisfying. I mean, after the primer dries and you're able to just start peeling primer off of your hands.
Oh yeah.
I actually usually have on gloves when I'm priming, but I got sidetracked by trying to keep an eye on the chat and forgot to put my glove on. It's sitting right here next to me.
So, Got the wash down. I'm gonna go ahead and do the matte varnish. Like a little man. Can't believe there's still 18 people in the chat.
Yeah.
Just hanging out with us. I know we're going a little later than usual. It's like already 11:30, and usually I'm already gunning to go to bed. But honestly, this is relaxing to me. This is very therapeutic. I don't plan to be out much longer, but dang it, I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
I needed this.
I was debating on whether to say anything because I know that you're in the zone painting.
Yeah, man. I've been watching it, bro. I'm just, well, you know what? I need this.
I need it.
Got to have it.
That's what I want to know. Do you base your mini after being painted, or do you base before the mini is painted and add?
Me?
Yep.
I base them after I paint them. The reason why I do that is because, and I don't attach them to the base. I know a lot of people actually, glue them to the base and they're good to go, right? My deal though with that is that I really like to, if I'm gonna do a decent base, I want it off the base before I start working on it. I don't want to work around the mini. If that makes sense.
So bingo, same here. Freak, just curious. Yeah, typically I base after as well. However, like I was gifted an entire pre-assembled AdMech army, and you guys know that AdMech's one of my favorite armies now. So definitely thank you so much, Kyle, for gifting me the AdMech army. But it was already, it was already something he was gaming with, so it was all pre-assembled, and so. Someone who likes to work in sub-assemblies and do the basing separately, that was a good exercise on working around a base and stuff like that.
Right.
And I definitely learned from it, and I have painted them faster if it weren't already based or glued to the base, definitely. And then trying to go back later and put basing paste and putty around the feet of an already painted miniature.
Right.
That was a challenge in its own.
I have to give credit to people like that do that. Like I know you've done that before too. You will mask and stuff. I just don't have the patience to build the base around a mini. I just don't. That's why I got mad respect for you, man.
Yeah, in fact, you've gone so far as when you've bought a pre-built mini that's already glued to the base, you'll go so far as to.
I will take them off. Yep.
Yeah, you'll even ones that were like cemented to the base. You've gone so far as to clip off the bottom of the feet and sand it down, rather than work around a pre-glued mini.
Yep.
Welcome to plastic therapy or metal, if not painting Warhammer 40K. You right? You're right. I say all the time, hobby is therapy.
Amen.
Until the minute I screw up my buttery blends, then it stops being therapy.
Yep. Or you spill your
Clip
washes.
something and the part goes flying.
Or you spill your washes.
Those are definitely times where my blood pressure has shot up. Lily's had to come help me find some. She's actually made me leave the room before because I'm just sitting there fuming.
Hey, get out. Get out. Get out. I want to find my get out. Okay.
That was I need to find that clip because I feel like that was so apt still today. Somebody once asked me as in a Q&A on a Wolf Brother Wednesday, Mythos, what do you do when you feel like you've messed up a model beyond fixing? And the clip for that is just so apt. A lot of the time, there's a lot of beeping. And then at first I'll vent to Lily, and then I'm still angry. So then I call up Freak, and man, I've sent him some just angry. I like sometimes I go back and look at the text that I sent him. I'm like, why is this dude still friends with me? Like, just random vomit of negativity, sitting in his messenger when he wakes up in the morning. Yeah, I get super. It's funny because I'm usually not permanently that salty or that sour or that angry or that negative. I vent. I'll say something that is like a 50-time overreaction. I'll probably slam something around. You're very, very, very emotionally healthy, I'm sure. I'll be really upset. And then after that, after I'm done with the defeated feeling, I'll sit down. I'll probably threaten to quit whatever it is I'm doing several times. And then my brain actually kicks in again. Tsukiyomi. Yes, Tsukiyomi. Oh, man. I'll get to that in a second. And then, after that, my brain finally turns back on, like it needed a reboot. Mythos.exe has shut down. But then my brain will start kicking in, and all right, how am I going to fix it? These are the steps I need to do to fix that. Maybe if I do this, maybe if I do that. And the fixing doesn't always work, but at least once my brain has gotten out of the anger stage and into the fix it stage, it may or may not work, but at least my brain is back on the, okay, what do I need to do next? How do I even get that mad over it? I don't honestly know. I think, and this is just what little bit of, there have been attempts to shrink me over the year, and I've never gone to a professional shrink because I'm afraid that they will tell me I'm crazy. But from what people have put together, it's probably so a lot growing up. I would be reinforced usually by physical contact, a smack, something like that. All my negative points were always pointed out to me. In fact, the name I went by in my childhood, I cannot stand to hear now, because it was always, my name and then you're so fat. My name and you're such a failure. My name and, anyways.
Association, yep. So,
anyways, when I fail at something, my brain immediately kicks into that mode. Well, I am a failure. I am a screw up. And failing at things, I don't know. I guess I don't want to use the word trigger because that is an over sensationalized word on the internet. But anyways, failing at something always takes me, since the drill sergeant is no longer in my life to tell me, what a failure and what a screw up I am. It's like I have to tell myself that now. That makes any sense?
Yeah.
And anyways, I've been working on myself a lot over the last 10 years, and I used to be a lot worse at this, and I feel like I've made a lot of progress, and I'm not that hard on myself now. I still have a lot of room to go, and I have a lot more growing to do to try and pull out of this. But, I think I'm able. Yeah, exactly. Mini Warma. I think I'm able to take those failures as learning opportunities, but sometimes I have to go through the emotion, my immediate emotions of failure at first. I have to go through the heartbreak of failure and then the anger about it. There's a feeling I have, and I know it's not a healthy feeling. There's this feeling inside of me that feels like I need to be punished for failing. And when I do that, I have to go through that emotionally, and then after being pissed off at myself, it's like I need a minute to calm down from that. Then I can start looking at failure as a growth and how do I improve in the future. And I realize this is not wargaming, and I've probably gone way too deep, and I apologize if I've gotten too serious here. But yeah, so putting a lighter spin on that, Garrett brought up Tsukiyomi. Those of you who don't know, my favorite MMO game right now is Final Fantasy XIV. It's been my favorite for years. A lot of the family here in the chat, Garrett, Roxas, or Geary, Daz from earlier, sometimes Pyropacia is here. There's some of my raiding family. Lily raids with us. We go to Final Fantasy. We do raids every Sunday. And Tsukiyomi's one of the bosses there. And I felt like I was never going to learn that boss fight. Like, yeah, you can just don't even bother with the raises. I'm just going to die. And, you know, leave me on the floor here. And no. You save your mana for somebody else. And there have been times where we finally cleared something. And instead of rolling on the gear, I just leave the map. And when people ask me why, I told them, well, I didn't contribute to the fight, so I don't deserve any gear. Man, nothing makes my family more upset than telling them that I didn't deserve. That's one of the things I do that upsets them the most. But in my mind, I felt like if I don't contribute to the success, I don't deserve the reward. But anyways,
I can relate. I can definitely relate.
Yeah, I've passed up gear. I've passed up mounts. And again, I think that just goes back to the way my brain works from the association that I have, you know, from growing up. Well, I think I'm all right at failing because I can look at anybody and know they had failures. That's pretty awesome. So you can look at things that way. I'm going to come back to that one. Phoenix says, I do the same ethos, very, very much the same. Well, I hope we can both, grow beyond that, Phoenix. So definitely, I know feeling this way doesn't make me feel good, and I'm happy and thankful for the growth I've made so far, and I just hope to one day grow to that next place. And in fact, I know. So I'm going to get just a little bit deeper for just 1 minute, and I apologize. So being the youngest, the baby in my family, my mom wouldn't. She didn't want my donor to put hands on either of us, but she was a little extra protective of my little brother. So sometimes, because he couldn't put his hands on my baby brother, he would beat me and make my little brother watch. And so as a result, my brother has a hard time being around violence now, and or just really, really aggressive confrontational attitudes and stuff like that. And so anyways, I think it was one of my explosive hating myself drills after one of these failures during one of the raids actually is why that person doesn't enjoy playing video games, or at least that particular video game, with me anymore. So it's a destructive pattern of mine that does affect other people, and it's something I'm looking to improve on myself, not only for myself but for other people around me. All right, talking about being all right with failing because you can look at other people and know that they had failures too. Something I feel I find interesting is sometimes I really enjoy when people who do their tutorials and stuff like that, if I identify them as a phenomenally better painter than me, I love when they leave in their tutorials mistakes that they made and this didn't work out and this is how I fixed it. Not only so I know how to troubleshoot my own problems when I'm trying to do whatever project it is, but there's something refreshing to see it live and on camera. Because sometimes I think, and I'm probably worse about it than other people, but painters that I aspire to be like, I see them on a pedestal, right? And when you see them fail and then figure out how to fix it, that does a couple of things. That shows me that if I fail at it, it's going to be okay. And also, it shows me that, this person who is leaps and bounds beyond my skill level, they slip up sometimes too. And, they move past it. And I think them moving past it is what makes them such a phenomenal painter. So it gives me I aspire to their paint level, but I also aspire to the way that they fix it when things don't go right.
Yep.
And it kind of humanizes them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right, I'm going to get off this soapbox talk now. Again, I really apologize for bringing the talk so serious.
It's good talk, man. It's real talk. All right, let's see if this looks any better. If we can get the lighting.
Commodore says that's the Rocky Ford mentality. He's not a machine. He's a man.
All right. If it works.
Hey, baby. All right. Looks like you've reached a stopping place.
Yeah, I did too. That's sad.
That's what I'm saying. Looks like you've reached a stopping place.
Yes.
I've just been cleaning out my airbrush for the last 10 minutes. Looking good, brother. Looking good.
Thanks, man. Yeah, they're getting there. Yep. I really love how the backpacks turned out. Kind of like.
Yeah, your backpacks look great.
That's my thing, though. Yeah, I think that turned out okay. I can get the stupid camera angle right. Anyway, any poop. Oh, man.
Some incredible work there, brother.
Slowly but surely, man. Like I said, all I got to do is the basing on that now.
Oh, man. Okay. Garrett, man, we were okay looking at it from the way Garrett just phrased it. It's like we've been drinking together, guys. This has been like a Frosted Fist drinking night.
Pretty much.
Garrett says, join the Frosted Fists. After the nipple clamps, we get really deep into life.
You guys hate me? Oh, God. How like to...
Roxas says it's stuff people really need to think about, how failure affects them and how to change. That's a really good point.
True.
Mini Warm-Up says, very nice, freak, but you missed a spot.
Shut your mouth. Oh. Ah. So good.
Roxas says, even though the I don't deserve gear incident did drive me a bit crazy, I promise to give you less of a hard time. You know what? In fact, if you don't mind, don't, because it has been a great reminder of that I need to grow more. And I feel like I've been trying to do better at that. But as long as I keep having a reminder that I need to grow more and be cognizant of that and how it affects the people around me, including my family that I raid with on Sundays, you know, I think it helps me. And I know this is, again, probably not the healthiest thing, but it helps me knowing that I need to change for the way I affect the people around me as well as myself. Probably it helps me focus on that more than just changing for myself. I feel like it's tough love at that point. See, that's right. Nipple clamps, crabs, and deep talks. Mini Warmet says knee pad needs paint.
Oh,
Hashtag freak a sexy beast. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
All right.
Do you have any closing thoughts, my brother?
Honestly, man, I it's so funny listening to you. Well, it wasn't funny, but it was quite interesting and telling. Of, you know, because we had talked about this, and honestly, for you to come out and share that, you know, openly like that takes a lot of balls. So my hat off to you, my man. But I think it's really refreshing to know that that's what we aspire to do, is to, you know, to continue to grow in spite of what someone or someone's or several people have tried to label us or put us in a box as a certain type of person. that we aspire to change that. We aspire to not only change the mental image that we have of ourselves, but also the mental image we feel that others may have of ourselves. And so that's one of the things that it's always been a struggle for me. Being compared by to someone else, especially like your family member. But yeah, I get it, man, absolutely, and I really appreciate you coming out and talking about that, because I think everybody in the chat, has some issue of some sort that's similar to that. So you being able to do that, and I've heard Richard do that too from the Nerd Life, that it's just being real, but it helps see that, just a little bit of vulnerability, helps others to see, well, yeah, you're right, we're all real in this marble that's spinning around this glowing sun, and we've all been through different things, and we're all from different walks of life, but in the end, we are all hobbyists just trying to enjoy the game, enjoy the hobby, and being real. And I tell you what, I cannot honor that more than what we do here. So it's very, very appreciative. So thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. Thank you for, first of all, thank you for letting me take over the show and rant with that for a while. It was just a one-word question too, and one sentence question, and I just took off and ran with it. Probably a little further and faster than I should have, but I think this hobby community has been a really positive influence, and I mean, there's been so many great, amazing people that have been welcoming, comforting, just really, I don't know, inspiring.
I've had a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, here's the thing, because you guys know that when we're doing a show, I'm in the background, just kind of doing the production work, and I really don't get the hobby. I don't get to kind of sit down. Doing this right here, this is like having you guys, like we're all around this huge table, and everybody's got their airbrushes and everything. We're just chatting it up and talking. That's how I feel like, what we're doing. And yeah, there are times that, like Garrett said, it's almost like, hey, everybody's got the beers and it gets a little deep. But in the end, at the end of the day, that's who we are. So really, really love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I wouldn't ask for anything else.
Some of our amazing chat here helping lighten it up after the deep talk. Garrett Oakley says, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if woodchuck could chuck wood?
He's so stupid.
Minnie Warma says, old fart here, getting tired tomorrow. Work begins at 4:30 a.m. Oh my God. Well, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We're wrapping it up, I promise.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, Zane says, especially sharing that with a bunch of trolls like us, you got some elephant balls.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't even think I meant to share. I was just answering the question, and then it just flooded out.
Yeah, buddy. Go on us all the way down to the floor, baby.
No worries with life issues here. We are all human. Unless we're in a simulation, then we aren't real at all, are we?
Trade, yeah. Matrix.
Mythos, it'll let you know that you're not a god. It just makes me want to think of the line, William H. Bonney, you are not a god. Somebody hit in the chat what the next line is. Who asked that question? Too far? Who asked that question, huh? We're chilling. A woodchuck could chuck.
Oh my God.
A woodchuck would chuck all the wood if a woodchuck could chuck wood. I couldn't do that one. I could do the first one. Do you bleed? Said Batman. Very nice. The answer to William H. Bonney, you are not a god, is, why don't you pull the trigger and find out? That is Young Guns. Thanks for helping get through the insomnia, guys. Thank you for spending your insomnia with us, brother. It was great having all of you in the chat tonight. Had some absolute beautiful, beautiful people in the chat tonight.
We did, man.
Love you. Love all you guys. And super, 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 super big extra shout to, the extended family, the Cushionata family, the group. Normally we see each other every single Saturday night, and we all go to raid on Sunday. And the fact that all this distancing going on, I haven't seen the family. It feels like forever. And like I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the show, singing rooftops and thinking of all the rock band, Guitar Hero nights that we've had. Just simply singing a song got me all, kind of emotional feeling. So I'm definitely missing the fam. So I'm definitely glad to hang out with some of the fam here in the chat and everyone who's just joined the chat. I mean, y'all have all been absolute family to us. Now I have that Bon Jovi song stuck in my head. Going out in a blaze of glory. Lord, I never drew first, but I drew first blood. And the devil's sign.
Look what you did, Brian. Why'd you do that, Brian?
All right. You guys, big shout out to everyone who joined tonight. I really appreciate the support you guys have shown us tonight by smashing those like buttons. Look at all those 19 likes. Massive thank you for Modeling for Advantage for being number 700 and everyone who helped us get to 700 along the way. So much love and support tonight, guys. That is amazing. Did we have a chance to decrypt?
No, I didn't. I didn't have a chance to do it. So he lucked out. No emo for tonight. So.
My bad. I may have said there was going to be an emo.
I'm sorry.
Let's see. All right, so while we're thanking everyone for being amazing and supporting us tonight, I do want to give a big shout out to our patrons. And guys, I'm definitely going to get excited. So here's your warning to tone down the volume, pull out the earplugs, whatever you've got going on.
Speaking of Patreon, we just got an alert that Heinrich actually donated to Patreon just now. Thank you so much.
That is amazing. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, dude. Really appreciate that.
All right. So like I said, I'm gonna shout out everyone and thank them. So again, I am gonna get excited. So I apologize for in advance if it gets a little loud. But I'm gonna start off by thanking our amazing patrons. Thanking Bloodclaw, Heinrich, Bartha.
Oh yeah, he is Heinrich.
Bloodclaw, Running Bear.
He's running like a bear.
Bloodclaw, Richard at the Nerd Life.
He is also tattoo for you.
Bloodclaw, Big Mac Danskull.
Because he's big.
Bloodclaw, Mini War Mutt.
He is mini, but not a mutt.
Bloodclaw, Big D of the Game Craft Dragon.
Because he's got a big D.
Bloodclaw, Chief Live Gaming.
He is the chief.
Bloodclaw, Inquisitor Zay.
He's so inquisitive.
Grey Hunter, Brother Roxas.
IT Guru.
Grey Hunter, Zach the Crimson Painter.
He's kind of red.
Next is the man who will drop his pants for no reason at all. Wolfguard Kalo.
Drop him if you got him.
Brand. He's not our Smash Captain, but he is a Smash Captain. From the Phalanx at high orbit, we have Wolfguard Commodore.
Not like the old computer.
And next, we have our very own Smash Captain. The man who has the banhammer has swung it in the chat this night. Wolfguard
Archer.
Next, we have the very mysterious man, the Wolf Lord, the only Wolf Lord who has seen Russ himself since his great disappearance. Wolf Lord Anonymous.
He could be behind you.
And finally, the man himself who was deemed to possibly have inflicted the last wound to Horus Lupercal himself before the Emperor finished him off.
Yep.
The ultimate Wolf Lord, Meeks!
Badass.
Guys, thank you so much for all of your support. Again, whether it's support on Patreon, support in any of the Amazon links we do. If you've checked out any of our Frost and Fist gear, or if your support is over on Patreon, no matter how you support us, we absolutely grandly appreciate you guys, and really, really, really appreciate you guys for spending your Friday nights with us, because you guys make my Friday nights, honestly, some of the best parts of anything I do. Honestly, it's just a great time hanging out with you guys.
I've really been looking forward to this.
Joe Bookish, by the way, has been on us with the whole stream, just been away from the keyboard. So thank you for joining us, Brother Joe.
Absolutely. Man.
Oh, man. You guys have been absolute legends. The chat tonight has been absolutely lit, whether it was crazy nipple talk conversations or you guys really letting me open up about life. Guys, I've really appreciated all these talks. And
they enjoyed the bow tie, so hey.
Yeah, freaking a bow tie and Ghostbuster visors.
That's right.
So,
Don't cross the streams.
Unless we need to cross the streams. We only cross the streams when we want the marshmallow. Marshmallow, getting that sweet marshmallow cream can be worth crossing the streams. Anyways. Say my name. Okay, I did say Bloodclaw, Mini War Month, but now forevermore, because I'm going to make a note of it here on my Patreon list. Instead of just Mini War Mutt, it will be Bloodclaw Brian, the Mini War Mutt. Is that better? Thank you so much. Got a great live show tonight. You lied, lies and heresy. I am so sorry. I really thought there was going to be an emo here tonight. Mini War Mutt says, "Step it up, freak." I thought he would be happy there was no emo. He secretly likes the emo.
I think he does too. A thing for emo.
Oh man, Heinrich, back during the. Did you use your last name to make a? Oh, never mind. He swung the band hammer with little effect. But the point was made. There was, hey, here's the line, right? Good morning for the end gents. Elstonation. Oh, you know what? I haven't shared today's 100% true Elstonation fact. And this week, the 100% true fact comes from the Pickle Jars Fajita Friday. By the way, the Pickle Jar is not only an amazing YouTube channel, but every Friday there is a Fajita Friday where he live streams on Facebook where he's making up some fajitas and chats with his fellow wargamers.
Wait, he's
eating
fajitas or making fajitas?
Huh?
He's eating fajitas or making fajitas?
He's making the fajitas. And in that live chat, Elstonation there mentioned that tonight he would be finishing, or I guess it was last night, time, he would be finishing the Stormcast Eternals army. And he said, finishing a unit or an army, because that is a massive army for you to be finishing off already. And it came up. By the way, we had researchers enter the chat right then. Researchers, scientists, historians, actual fact checkers and number crunchers pulled up the stats and said that there's another known Elstonation superpower we didn't know about. We knew about time travel, and that's one way he gets models painted so quickly. But in this live chat, we found out that while Superman may have frost breath and Godzilla may have radiation breath, Elstonation has a prismatic, iridescent breath of color that he can use. and in a single breath finish off a fully painted army with just a single breath.
I need time to ponder that.
So, I mean, we had actual scientists in the chat with us tonight, and if the pickle jars fajita Fridays is good enough for these scientists, definitely worth checking out, you guys.
I agree, and I like fajitas.
I kept going further, but he didn't do anything afterwards. Freaky dork. That's a mini warmut. Breathing on my minis excessively. If it means it's fully painted, is he just breathing on it at that point? They're fully painted because he breathed on them, Garrett. No respect. No respect. Guys, thank you all so much for watching and joining us tonight. Like I said, it's been an amazing time hanging out with you guys. If you guys like tonight's episode, please make sure that you grab up an ox and smash that like button. In the name of the Emperor. Drop us some comments down below if you're watching from the archives. Feel free to be part of any of these ridiculous conversations. And please make sure you go check out the Chilling Network and the Chilling Wargamers. Fantastic, fantastic group. And if you guys are not yet subscribed to the channel, then the Freakaliciousness and his bow tie, and even this guy, who's the friend that you guys want me to ask out for you, we'd love to have you as part of the pack here on the Frost and Fist. Until next time, guys.
Hey,
Stay frosty.